From Viera, Florida, to the world via the internet, welcome to the 2010 Florida State League All-Star Game. I'm Stephen Smith of SpaceCoastBaseball.com, and I'll be telling you about tonight's game from the first pitch until the final out. For the second time in 3 years, Space Coast Stadium in Viera, Florida, hosts the Florida State League All-Star Game. In 2008, it was the West Division versus the East Division. And in 2009, the Florida State League realigned into North and South Divisions. So in 2010, the league comes back here to Viera with the home team, Brevard County Manatees, now in the North Division, hosting this festive gala for the second time in 3 years. We're about 24 hours into the All-Star Weekend events. Last night about this time, we were having the All-Star Banquet Gala at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Melbourne. If you go to my website, SpaceCoastBaseball.com, there's video up of the gala from last night. You'll see some of the speakers. The featured speaker was Pat Williams, who is the general manager of the Orlando Magic. And so you can watch that if you're a player's parent or a loved one. You might see your son in the background. The room was a little dark, and so we had to work with what we have, but it's cinema verite, and it is what it is, but you can hear it just fine. Today we had a number of events. Starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, the players took a bus over to the Brevard Zoo, where they signed autographs from 10 a.m. until 12:30. Then they went to lunch at the Holiday Inn, and then were bussed back here to Space Coast Stadium for team pictures at 2:30 for the North Division and 2:45 for the South Division. Then they had batting practice, or as it's called here now in Brevard County, hitting rehearsal. If you haven't seen on the news lately, I've been told that it's been on several of the national networks that the Brevard County Manatees declared that because batting practice goes by the initials BP, and that happens to coincide with British Petroleum, who, as you know, has been in the news lately because of the Gulf oil spill, that henceforth the Manatees will refer to batting practice as hitting rehearsal. So the North had their hitting rehearsal from 3 to 3:45, and then the South had their hitting rehearsal from 3:45 until 4:30 p.m. Then both sides took their infield practice. The players ate between 5 and 6. And then at 6 p.m. we had the ever-popular home run derby, 3 players from the North Division, 3 players from the South Division. The 6 participants were Quincy Lattimore of the Bradenton Marauders, Corbin Joseph of the Tampa Yankees, Xavier Scruggs of the Palm Beach Cardinals, Travis Darno of the Dunedin Blue Jays, Henry Quigley of the Charlotte Stone Crabs, and Cody Overbeck of the Clearwater Threshers. Out of those 6, we ended up with Lattimore and Wrigley tied after the regular round, so they went into a head-to-head final, and they tied each other at 2 apiece. And so they had another sudden death where it was 5 outs each. Lattimore hit 1 home run, and then Henry Quigley came up down to his last pitch, and he hit 2 home runs. So Henry Quigley of the Charlotte Stone Crabs has won the 2010 Florida State League All-Star Game Home Run Derby. I was down on the field videotaping that, and so if you go to SpaceCoastBaseball.com sometime tomorrow, I will try to have the video online of highlights from the Home Run Derby and Henry Wrigley. I can tell that's going to be a hard one to say tonight. Henry Wrigley receiving the trophy, which actually is a tiki carved by a local company called My Tiki. Their website is maitiki.com. Very famous for carving custom tikis. You see them all over Brevard County. And so Henry Wrigley received a custom tiki as his trophy for winning the Home Run Derby. Right now we're having the ceremonies on the field before the game, being led by the president of the Florida State League. I'm going to give you the starting lineups now for both sides, and we'll repeat them just before the game begins. We want to let you listen to as much of the pregame ceremonies as much as possible, so I want to get the lineups out there for you who are listening early, and then we'll try to repeat them again before the first pitch. So if you want to keep score or keep track of the lineups, get yourself a pencil and a piece of paper, and I'll give that to you in just a moment. Let me explain how this webcast is going to work. The home team, the Brevard County Manatees, do not have a radio contract, so SpaceCoastBaseball.com volunteered to call certain games for the Manatees this year, 15 home games, as well as this All-Star game. And they're called over the Internet only. They're not on the radio, but as we know, sound over the Internet goes anywhere on planet Earth, and I'm told they could even get the Internet now up on the space station. So I don't know if we have any Florida State League fans up there on the space station. If we do, howdy. But for the rest of you here on planet Earth, because this is not a normal radio broadcast, the rules are a little bit different. We do not have any sponsors. We do not have any ads to read. So that means that between innings, there won't be any breaks to sell product. Also, the broadcasts, because they're not sponsored and we don't have any products to sell, it's all out of my pocket. So if you enjoy what you're hearing, please consider making a one-time donation or sign up for the $5 a month voluntary subscription to SpaceCoastBaseball.com. And if you go to the homepage at www.spacecoastbaseball.com, you'll see what it is that we do there. Typically, we're covering both professional and amateur baseball here in Brevard County, and the highlight this year of professional baseball certainly is going to be this All-Star game. So if you come into this a little bit later, if you have to go in and out, the entire webcast will be archived on SpaceCoastBaseball.com starting tomorrow. If you are the player's parent or a loved one of a player of either team, and you're interested in looking to see if we have any other games involving your son or loved one in the archives, when you go to SpaceCoastBaseball.com, up on the menu bar, click on Multimedia, and then select Audios, and you'll see what it is that we have in the archives so far. We've done about 6 games so far, and I think we've got about another 9 or so to get through before the year is over. So the schedule is available on SpaceCoastBaseball.com, and certainly we'll be trying to do as many games as we can during the rest of the year. Okay, now here we go with the starting lineups. First, for the visiting South Division, leading it off and in center field is number 22, Quincy Lattimore of the Bradenton Marauders, which is a Pittsburgh Pirates affiliate. Batting second and at second base is number 3, Josh Satin, S-A-T-I-N. He's with the St. Lucie Mets. Batting third is the catcher, number 25, Tony Cruz, C-R-U-Z, from the Palm Beach Cardinals. Batting fourth and at third base, number 16 is Henry Wrigley, W-R-I-G-L-E-Y, of the Charlotte Stone Crabs, which is a Tampa Bay Rays affiliate. And as I said earlier, he won the Home Run Derby. Batting fifth at first base is number 5, Stephen, S-T-E-F-E-N, Welch, from the St. Lucie Mets. Batting sixth is the designated hitter, number 15, Xavier, that's X-A-V-I-E-R, Scruggs, S-C-R-U-G-G-S, of the Palm Beach Cardinals. Xavier also participated in the Home Run Derby. Batting seventh is the right fielder, number 9, Sean, S-E-A-N, Ratliff, R-A-T-L-I-F-F. He's with the St. Lucie Mets. Batting eighth and in left field is number 36, Richard Roccobaldo, R-A-C-O-B-A-L-D-O, from the Palm Beach Cardinals. And batting ninth is the shortstop, number 6, Isaias, A-S-I, let me get you the correct spelling. It is Isaias with an I, I-S-A-I-A-S, Velasquez, V-E-L-A-S-Q-U-E-Z. He's the shortstop for the Charlotte Stone Crabs, again, Tampa Bay Rays affiliate. The starting pitcher for the South Division is going to be Mark Diapoules, D-I-A-P-O-U-L-E-S, from the Palm Beach Cardinals. Diapoules, 5-1 this year with a 2.68 ERA, 13 games, 8 starts for the Cardinals. In 15 1/3 innings, struck out 33, 25 walks, and he's given up 4 home runs. Okay, here are the starting lineup for the North Division against Diapoules. Leading it off is number 13, center fielder Brett with 2 T's Jackson from the Daytona Cubs. Batting sixth is the designated hitter, number 10, Sergio Miranda from the home team Brevard County Manatees, so no doubt he'll get the largest cheer tonight. He's one of 4 Manatees who made the roster. Matt Klein is the second. The third is Eric Kamatsu, an outfielder, and a late addition is pitcher Michael Fires. Batting third is the catcher, number 25, Travis Darnoud, and that's spelled D''ARNOUD. He's with the Dunedin Blue Jays. Batting fourth is the third baseman, number 5, Cody, C-O-D-Y, Overbeck, O-V-E-R-B-E-C-K, of the Clearwater Threshers, which is the Philadelphia Phillies affiliate. Batting fifth and at second base is number 2, Corbin, C-O-R-B-A-N, Joseph, of the Tampa Yankees. Batting sixth and at first base is number 22, Raleigh, R-A-W-L-E-Y, Bishop, with the Lakeland Flying Tigers. Batting seventh in left field is number 8, Eric with a K, Komatsu, K-O-M-A-T-S-U, also with the hometown Manatees. Batting eighth and in right field, number 12, Jack Rye, R-Y-E, with the Tampa Yankees. And batting ninth is the shortstop, number 1, slickest shortstop in the Florida State League, Gustavo Nunez, N-U-N-E-Z. And the starting pitcher for the North Division is number 48, Adam Warren. Warren, 6-4 with a 2.44 ERA in 11 games for the Tampa Yankees, 11 starts. He's pitched in 59 innings, given up 51 hits, struck out 46, walked 14, and he's given up only 1 home run. What we're going to do now is we're going to put the headset out the window so you can listen to some of the events that are happening. Right now we're going to have the first pitch ceremony with a couple of military personnel from Patrick Air Force Base. And so we're going to let you listen to the ceremonies that may drop in and out from time to time. But here's the first pitch.
Catching for the honorary first pitch from your Brevard County Manatees, number 3, Matt Klein. Thank you to SpaceX and Metro PTS for sponsoring the 2010 Florida State League All-Star Game in celebration of Space Weekend. On behalf of the Brevard County Manatees, thank you for all of your support.
While we wait for the next event, which I'm assuming is going to be the introduction of both rosters, let me tell you very briefly about where we are and a little bit more about Space Coast Stadium. We're located in Viera, Florida. If you think of the Florida Peninsula, the city of Orlando is pretty much smack dab in the middle of the state, just a little bit north of the middle of the state. If you were to head 45 miles east, you would wind up at the Florida Atlantic Ocean coastline. That would take you to Cape Canaveral, of course, where Kennedy Space Center is, and nearby Merritt Island and the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, as well as Port Canaveral, where many popular cruise ships sail out of. Well, when you get to the coast, if you were to turn south and you go south about maybe 7-8 miles or so, you would get to where Space Coast Stadium is in Viera. Space Coast Stadium is the spring training home of the Washington Nationals. The Brevard County Manatees are actually a Milwaukee Brewers affiliate, and the Manatees sublet the stadium during the summer from the Washington Nationals. The Nationals actually leased the facility from Brevard County that owns the stadium. We're having another award ceremony at home plate. Somebody is receiving another custom tiki, and as I said, we have a local business here, My Tiki, that makes custom tikis that are very famous in the area. You can see them in front of many businesses and homes. If you want to check them out just to get a flavor of local life here, their website is www.maitiki.com. So I was telling you where we are located in Viera. We're about 20 miles south of Kennedy Space Center, and we are in Brevard County, which is nicknamed the Space Coast, I would think for obvious reasons, because we are in the same county as Kennedy Space Center and Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. In fact, one of the major sponsors for this All-Star Weekend is SpaceX, which had what may turn out to be a historic launch a week ago last Friday. SpaceX is trying to do something novel, which is develop its own private rocket that the government may decide to purchase either manned or unmanned launches on in the future. But they also want to open up to private businesses that want to put either people or cargo into orbit. And their experimental rocket, the Falcon 9, successfully launched a week ago on Friday. And they made it all the way into orbit, and they successfully deployed a dummy payload, which is meant to simulate a capsule they're building. So it may turn out to be very historic, as it's going to change the face of how access to low Earth orbit changes in this country in the years to come. And SpaceX, since arriving here, has jumped in feet first in supporting baseball in Brevard County, as they are a major co-sponsor of the Florida State League All-Star Game. You can check out their website at www.spacex.com, SPACEX.com. Now, the weather here in Florida, as you might suspect, can be rather combustible at times. This time of year it gets very warm and muggy. In fact, the temperature right now is about 85 degrees, but due to the humidity, it feels like 92. The wind is blowing out of the east-northeast at about 10 miles an hour, and what that means here on the field is that the flags are pointing from left to right, so that should aid left-handed batters or anybody who gets the ball up in the jet stream blowing out to right field. The humidity is about 69%, and anytime we get hot and humid, that raises the possibility of having thunderstorms this time of day. The forecast right now is only a 10% chance of rain for the rest of the evening. We do see some scattered clouds moving through the area, and I can tell you from personal experience that because the weather here is so combustible, that even when they tell you there's 0% chance of rain, it can rain. You can have the only cloud in the neighborhood over this stadium, and it can pour. So with that caveat emptor there, things are looking pretty good, and I don't think we're going to have a problem with any precipitation tonight. But you've been forewarned. We're still waiting for the introduction of the two teams, and once again, if you're coming late into this webcast, we started at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. This is a little bit different than a normal broadcast. The Manatees do not have a radio contract, so SpaceCoastBaseball.com has volunteered to webcast on the Internet certain Manatees games this year, as well as the All-Star Game. So we don't have any commercial breaks between innings. That means you and I can continue to yak if there's something to talk about. There may be a time or two where I need to leave the radio to go take care of Mother Nature or other things. So if that happens, I will probably just stick the headset out the window and let you listen to the sounds of the game. We don't have a crowd mic. It's just the microphone on the headset. But it seems to do a pretty good job of picking up crowd noise. And we do have a really good crowd tonight. When we hosted the All-Star Game 2 years ago, the official attendance was about 3,500. I would say we've topped that tonight because this stadium can hold around 7,500. It is the spring training home of the Washington Nationals, so it's built to have a larger capacity than normally you see demanded for Florida State League games, and that's one reason why it's hosting the All-Star Game for the second time in 3 years. But the stadium looks like right now it's probably about 2/3 full, maybe half to 2/3. So I would guess that our official attendance tonight will come in somewhere between 4,000 to 4,500. If you are here in Brevard County in the Space Coast and you want to come on over, it's easy to get here. I think you can get here from anywhere in Brevard County within 30 minutes. Just get on the Interstate 95, the I-95, and either head north or south from where you live and look for exit 195. So take the I-95 to exit 195. That's Fisk Boulevard. When you exit at Fisk Boulevard, it changes from Fisk to Stadium Parkway at that point, and you'll see signs pointing in the direction of the stadium to the south. So you go south on Fisk Boulevard, which becomes Stadium Parkway at that point, 3 miles to Space Coast Stadium, and you'll see signs pointing to where general parking is. So you can park there, you can walk on in. Single game tickets are only $8, and I guarantee you are going to see some future major leaguers tonight. It's inevitable that these minor league all-star games are going to feature players that you may see in the big leagues within just a couple of years. This is my 4th Advanced Class A all-star game. I moved here last year from California, where I used to work in the California League, and I participated in 3 all-star games, one at Lake Elsinore, one at Rancho Cucamonga, and one at San Bernardino. And in every case, I can go back and look at those games, and I can see players who were in the major leagues. All right, they're going to introduce the players and coaches now on the field, so I'm going to put the headset out the window and let you listen.
First coaches, pitching coach from the Charlotte Stone Crabs is Neil Allen. Hitting coach from the Charlotte Stone Crabs is Joe Sexy. Trainer from the Charlotte Stone Crabs is Chris Tomashaw. Strength coach from the Charlotte Stone Crabs is Scott Smith. Now for the reserves for the South Division. From the Bradenton Marauders, number 17 infielder, Jeremy Farrell. Pitcher, number 32, Jeff Locke. Pitcher, number 51, Noah Kroll. And pitcher number, he's on the disabled list, Nathan Adcock. From the Charlotte Stone Crabs, number 11, Joshua Sattow. Pitcher. Number 18, catcher, Stephen Boat. Number 19, pitcher, Zachary Quake. Number 27, pitcher, Neil Schneck. And number 31, pitcher, Marquise Fleming. From the Fort Myers Miracle, the catcher, number 26, Chris Herman. And the pitcher, number 35, Billy Bullock. From the Jupiter Hammerheads, number 30, infielder, Ben Lassiter. From the Palm Beach Cardinals, pitcher, number 38, Ramon Delgado. Pitcher, number 41, Matthew Freeberg. Now, the reserves for the North Division All-Star team. First, the coaches. Pitching coach from the Tampa Yankees is Greg Pavlik. Hitting coach from the Tampa Yankees is Julius Santos. Trainer from the Tampa Yankees is Chris Russell. Strength coach from the Tampa Yankees is Jay Cinderelli. Now for the reserves from the North Division All-Star team. From the Clearwater Threshers, number 30, pitcher Justin DeFreitas. Number 37, pitcher Austin Hyatt. Number 54, pitcher Trevor May. From the Daytona Cubs, pitcher number 34, Rafael Dallas. Number 40, pitcher Aaron Schaefer. From the Dunedin Blue Jays, catcher number 6, John Gomez. Number 17, pitcher Matt Daly. Number 31, pitcher Henderson Alvarez. Disabled list, infielder Tyler Pasternicki. From the Lakeland Flying Tigers, number 35, outfielder Cody Kaiser. Number 50, Brian Villarreal, pitcher. And pitcher Charlie Furbush. Infielder number 3, Matt Line. Pitcher number 41, Michael Byers. And now for the starting lineups, ladies and gentlemen, from the South Division All-Star team. Hitting first, the center fielder, number 22, from the Bradenton Marauders, Quincy Lattimore. Hitting second baseman, from the St. Lucie Mets, number 3, Josh Satine. Hitting third, the catcher from the Palm Beach Cardinals, number 25, Tony Cruz. Hitting fourth, the Home Run Derby champion, third baseman, number 16, from the Charlotte Stonecraft, Henry Wrigley. Hitting fifth, the first baseman, number 5, from the St. Lucie Mets, Stephen Welch. Hitting sixth, the designated hitter from the Palm Beach Cardinals, number 15, Xavier Scruggs. The right fielder, number 29, from the St. Lucie Mets, Sean Ratliff. Hitting eighth, the left fielder from the Palm Beach Cardinals, number 36, Richard Roccobaldo. Hitting ninth, the shortstop from the Charlotte Stonecraft, number 6, Isaias Velasquez. The pitcher, number 24, right-hander from the Palm Beach Cardinals, Mark Diapoules. For the South Division, the manager is Jim Morrison from the Charlotte Stonecraft. And now, for your North Division All-Star Team starting lineup. Hitting first, the center fielder, number 13, from the Daytona Cubs, Brett Jackson. From your Brevard County Manatees, the designated hitter, number 10, Sergio Miranda. The catcher, hitting third, number 25, from the Dunedin Blue Jays, Travis Darno. Hitting fourth, the third baseman, number 5, from the Clearwater Threshers, Cody Overbeck. The second baseman from the Tampa Yankees, number 2, Corbin Joseph. Hitting sixth, the first baseman, number 22, from the Lakeland Flying Tigers, Raleigh Bishop. And from your Brevard County Manatees, the left fielder, number 8, Eric Kamatsu. Yeah, baby. Hitting eighth, right fielder, number 12, from the Tampa Yankees, Jeff Rye. And hitting ninth, the shortstop, number 1, from the Lakeland Flying Tigers, Gustavo Nunez. Pitching, the righty, number 48, from the Tampa Yankees, Adam Warren. Managing Corey Tyson, manager of the Tampa Yankees. Now introducing the umpires for tonight's game. At first base is Matt Moisen. At second base is Ian Fazio. At third base is Brandon Henson. And behind home plate is Marcus Patillo. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please rise and remove your caps for the presentation of the colors and the singing of our national anthem. The colors are presented by the Patrick Air Force Base Honor Guard. Tonight's anthem will be performed by Robbie Carrico.
With an impressive flyover by a military helicopter at the end of the national anthem, we end the pregame ceremonies as the colors are being marched off the field. The players remain at attention until the flags leave the field. Very quickly, while we wait for that to happen, let me give you the starting lineups once again for those of you who've come in late. First, for the visiting team, the South Division. Leading it off and in center field, number 22, Quincy Lattimore from the Bradenton Marauders. Batting second, and at second base, number 3, Josh. It's spelled like Satin, S-A-T-I-N. The PA announcer called it Satine, and we'll go with that. Batting third, the catcher, number 25, Tony Cruz. He's from the Palm Beach Cardinals. Satine, by the way, from the St. Lucie Mets. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 16, Henry Wrigley from the Charlotte Stone Crabs, Tampa Bay Rays affiliate. Batting fifth, and at first base, number 5, Stephen, S-T-E-F-E-N, Welch. He's with the St. Lucie Mets. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 15, Xavier Scruggs from the Palm Beach Cardinals. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 9, Sean Ratliff from the St. Lucie Mets. Batting eighth, and in left field is number 36, Richard Roccabaldo from the Palm Beach Cardinals. And batting ninth is the shortstop, number 6, Isaias, I-S-A-I-A-S, Velasquez, B-E-L-A-S-Q-U-E-Z. And the starting pitcher for the South is number 24, Mike, and it's spelled D-I-A-P-O-U-L-E-S. The PA guy says it's Diapoules. I would have guessed Diapoules either way. He's the starting pitcher, and he's from the Palm Beach Cardinals. Lyles very quickly for the North Division, which is the home team tonight, and the applause from the crowd is as the color guard goes marching by from nearby Patrick Air Force Base. All right, here's the starting lineup for the home team North Division. Leading it off, number 13, center fielder Brett Jackson from the Daytona Cubs. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 10, from the Brevard County Manatees, Sergio Miranda. The Manatees are a Milwaukee Brewers affiliate. Batting third is the catcher, number 25, Travis Darnoud, D-A-R-N-O-U-D. He's from the Dunedin Blue Jays. Batting fourth, and at third base, number 5, Cody Overbeck from the Clearwater Threshers, Philadelphia Phillies affiliate. Batting fifth and at second base is number 2, Corbin Joseph. He's with the Tampa Yankees. Batting sixth is the first baseman, number 22, Raleigh Bishop from the Lakeland Flying Tigers. Batting seventh and in left field, number 8, Eric with a K, Komatsu, Komatsu, from the Brevard County Manatees. Batting eighth and in right field is number 12, Jack Rye, R-Y-E, from the Tampa Yankees. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 1, Gustavo Nunez, from the Lakeland Flying Tigers. And the starting pitcher is right-hander number 48, Adam Warren, of the Tampa Yankees. The North Division has taken the field very quickly. The North defensively, Raleigh Bishop is at first. Corbin Joseph is at second. Gustavo Nunez is at short, and Cody Overbeck is at third. In the outfield and left field, it's Eric Komatsu, Brett Jackson in center, and Jack Rye is in right. Behind the plate is Travis Darnaud, and on the mound, the Tampa Yankees, Adam Warren, number 48, who gets the start for the North Division. In the first half of the year, 6-4 with a 2.44 ERA. 11 games, they were all starts for the Yankees. 59 innings. He gave up 51 hits, 16 earned runs. Struck out 46 and walked 14. He's given up only 1 home run, and opponents are batting .230 against him. That's right-hander Adam Warren. Adam is third in the Florida State League in ERA at 2.44, and he's one of only 5 Florida State League pitchers in 2010 to pitch a complete game shutout.
The 2010 Florida State League All-Star Game.
Quincy Lattimore strolls to the plate to lead it off for the South Division. He'll be followed by second baseman Josh Satine from the St. Lucie Mets and catcher Tony Cruz from the Palm Beach Cardinals. Lattimore batting from the right side against the right-hander Warren, and the first pitch of the game is swung on. It's a shot up the middle for a base hit.
First pitch of the night, 7:41.
So Quincy Lattimore waits no time. He was the runner-up in the pregame home run derby, and he takes the first pitch from Adam Warren and drills it into center field. So that'll bring up second baseman Josh Satine from the St. Lucie Mets. He bats right-handed. Lattimore leads off at first. He's 3 for 4 in stolen bases this year. Warren working from a stretch, and his first pitch to Satine is down and in, ball 1. Satine batting .317 on the year, 5 homers, 32 RBI. Next pitch by Warren darts in off the plate, and the count is 1-1. Third baseman Overbeck playing deep at third, a couple of steps behind the bag, maybe 20 feet off the line. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball swung on and missed. That was up in his eyes. Well, now the scoreboard is saying it's 2-1, and I think the scoreboard earlier called the pitch a strike that was actually a ball. And I found in calling games here the first half of the year not to rely 100% on that board. Let's see if Lattimore will be going on the 2-1 pitch. He's not, and this ball is a line drive foul down the right field line that exits the stadium down by the foul pole. Space Coast Stadium is horseshoe-shaped. As we said, capacity of about 7,500. And in a pitcher-friendly league, it's one of the most pitcher-friendly ballparks. It's 340 down the line, 404 to dead center field. They don't post the dimensions to the alleys, but I guess easily in the 380s out there. 2-2 pitch is a grounder passed Overbeck into left field for a base hit. Fielding the ball is Komatsu, who gets the ball into the shortstop Nunez. So Lattimore and Satine lead it off with singles. And that'll bring up the catcher from the Palm Beach Cardinals, number 25, Tony Cruz. Cruz batting .312, still looking for his first home run of the regular season, 14 RBI. Like his two predecessors, he bats right-handed. Lattimore off of second. He led off the game with a single. The first pitch by Warren is a hard grounder foul down the third baseline, just a couple of inches foul past the bag. Rolls down the foul line and bounces off the facing of the stands down the left field line just beyond where we have the tarp rolled up, and let's hope we don't need that tonight. Lattimore singled and then advanced to second on the single by Satine. Next pitch by Warren is a breaking ball down and away, and the count's 1-1. Wind blowing from the east-northeast at about 10 miles an hour. The flags are flapping, pointing in the direction of right field, saying if you want a home run, hit it there. 1-1 pitch. Another breaking ball darts in and misses, and the count goes 2-1. The North Division shortstop Nunez is deking Lattimore there at second. Corbin Joseph on the other side being a general nuisance too. Warren looks back at Lattimore, and the 2-1 pitch is a hard grounder. It gets knocked down by Joseph. He goes on to first. To Bishop, the only play he had to retire Tony Cruz. That ball was headed for right field, but Joseph, diving to his left, knocked it down, kept it in the infield. Had only one play, which was to go on to first to retire Cruz. Lattimore advances to third, and Satine advances to second. So with runners on second and third and one down, that'll bring up cleanup hitter Henry Wrigley, third baseman from the Charlotte Stonecrafts. First pitch by Warren. Fastball down and away, ball one. Wrigley won the pregame home run derby for the regular season, batting .313 with 12 homers, 43 RBI. Lattimore down the line from third. The next pitch by Warren swung on and missed at a fastball off the corner. Counts 1-1. Overbeck playing deep at third. He's not trying to keep Lattimore on the bag. So the North will concede a run here early in the game. Next pitch is a foul ball just to the right of the press box here, and the count goes 1-2. On deck is first baseman Stephen Welch. Henry Wrigley is tied for the lead in the league, first in home runs with 12. Next pitch is down and in. The count goes 2-2. Wrigley second in the league in RBI at 43, second in hits at 70, second in slugging percentage at 549, and he leads the league in total bases with 123. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball. It's a chopper down to Overbeck at third. Only play is long throw across to first to Bishop. That'll score Lattimore on the fielder's choice, and the South takes a 1-0 lead.
Now hitting the first baseman from the St. Lucie Mets, number 5, Stephen Welch.
Josh Satine with the ball in front of him at third base did the right thing. He did not advance from second. So he is still on second with 2 down. The South takes the lead. And that'll bring up the number 5 hitter from the St. Lucie Mets, first baseman Stephen Welch. First pitch swung on and missed, strike one. I've seen his first name spelled 2 different ways, Stefan on the official record, and on the lineup it's Stefn. A 1 pitch misses away, and it counts 1-1. Now with my first name, Stephen, Stephen, I can sympathize with Mr. Welch. He's from Adelaide, Australia, batting left-handed. First left-handed batter we've seen in the game. Warren's still working from the stretch, and Welch swings and misses on a breaking ball, and the count goes 1-2. Welch batting .296 with 4 homers, 42 RBI. Third in the Florida State League in RBI with 42. That's best among left-handed batters. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed on a breaking ball that may have been a changeup. And Adam Warren has his first strikeout of the game. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We've had a half inning here in the 2010 Florida State League All-Star Game, and the South is leading the North by a score of 1-0. Now, as I said a couple of times during the broadcast, this is not a normal radio broadcast because the Manatees do not have a radio contract. SpaceCoastBaseball.com has volunteered to call this game over the Internet so the players, parents, and loved ones, and Brevard County baseball fans and anybody else who wants to listen to this historic game can hear it. But because it's not a normal radio broadcast, we don't have ads, and so that means that I'll still be talking to you between innings as I am right now. If you want to email me with a question or comment, or just to let me know that there's somebody on planet Earth listening, you can email me at home@spacecoastbaseball.com. That's home@spacecoastbaseball.com. You can also go to the website at www.spacecoastbaseball.com, and you'll see there's a link there you can click on that says, click here to email spacecoastbaseball.com. As we get ready to go to the bottom of the first, the starting pitcher for the South, Mark Diapoules, or Diapoules, depending on the opinion of who you hear tonight, is on the mound warming up for Palm Beach. He's wearing number 24. For the Cardinals this year, 13 appearances, 8 starts. He's 5-1 with a 2.68 ERA. The right-hander has worked 50 1/3 innings. He's given up 15 earned runs, 39 hits, struck out 33, and walked 25. Opposing batters are batting .223 against him. He does get a lot of ground balls. He's got opponent hitters to ground and double plays 10 times. And for those of you who are really into stats, his stat of ground outs to all other outs, the ratio is 2.93. So without trying to think it through too much, I'll just tell you that's a pretty high number. That means he should be inducing a lot of ground balls for as long as he works tonight. Leading it off for the North here in the bottom of the first is center fielder Brett Jackson. He'll be followed by Sergio Miranda and Travis d'Arnaud. Jackson batting left-handed. And the first pitch misses high and away, ball 1. Jackson batting .280, 3 homers, 26 RBI. First round draft pick of the Chicago Cubs in 2009. There's a one-hopper down to short. Velasquez, long throw over to first. He pulled the first baseman Welch off the bag. And that'll put Jackson on first. It's going to be ruled an error. Now, the scoreboard here does not give us much information. It's not much different than a high school scoreboard. So it just tells us that there was an error, but it doesn't say to whom it was charged. So I'm going to guess that error is going to be on the shortstop, Velasquez on the throw. All right, Sergio Miranda at the plate, batting left-handed, and the first pitch by Diapoules. Fastball hits the outside corner, strike 1. Miranda, quite the contact hitter. Jackson taking his lead off first in the next pitch. Misses high and away, and the count's 1-1. Miranda tied for second in the Florida State League in total hits with 70. He has the lowest total plate appearances to strikeout ratio. Fastball hits the outside corner, and the count's 1-2. And what that basically means is that he strikes out only once every 14 times he goes to the plate. He's batting .310, no homers, 39 RBI. Next pitch by Diapoules is a hard grounder. It's caught by the first baseman, who goes to the shortstop for the force. And actually, I think what happened there was that the South first baseman, Welch, when he fielded the ball, stepped on first base and retired Miranda. Then he threw on to the shortstop Velasquez, and he tagged Jackson as Jackson slid into the bag. So Miranda and Jackson are raced on an unorthodox double play, and that'll bring up the number 3 hitter from the Dunedin Blue Jays, number 25, Travis d'Arnaud. First pitch by Diapoules, fastball hits the outside corner, strike 1. d'Arnaud was involved in a blockbuster trade over the winter. Next pitch is a fastball that's bounced and gets past the catcher and goes to the backstop, and the count's 1-1. d'Arnaud was selected by the Phillies in the first round supplemental, number 37 overall, the 2007 draft, and was ranked by Baseball America as the Phillies' number 4 prospect coming into this year. Fastball hits the outside corner, it's 1-2. But d'Arnaud was traded by the Phillies with right-handed pitching prospect Kyle Drabek and outfielder Michael Taylor to the Toronto Blue Jays last December for ace right-hander Roy Halladay and some cash. There's a line drive into center field for a base hit. It's fielded by the center fielder, Lattimore, who gets it back into the infield. And the North has its first hit of the game. So that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, third baseman Cody Overbeck from the Clearwater Threshers. Overbeck batting .302, 11 homers, 41 RBI. First pitch by Diapoules. Breaking ball is blocked nicely by the catcher, Cruz. Counts 1-0. Overbeck's 11 dingers, third in the Florida State League. He's second in doubles with 19, fourth in RBI with 41, and leads the league in slugging percentage at .553. Batting right-handed. Darno takes his lead, a short one from first, and this is a hard grounder. Is it fair or foul? Just foul down the third baseline. It looked like it might have almost gone right over the bag, but the third base umpire took his time, and after leaping out of the way to avoid contact with the ball, signaled foul. The South Division defense does not overlook that. Stephen Welch is at first. Josh Satine is at second. Isaias Velasquez at short. Breaking ball swung on and missed up in his eyes, and it counts 1-2. And at third base is Henry Wrigley, who won the home run derby. In left, it's Richard Roccaballo, Quincy Lattimore in center, and in right, Sean Ratliff. The catcher, Tony Cruz, and again, the starting pitcher is Mark Diapoules. He comes set, and the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3. Nice rainbow curve to retire Cody Overbeck. No runs, a hit, an error, and one left. We've gone one here at Space Coast Stadium, and the South leads the North by a score of 1-0. Haven't had a chance to tell you about the uniform jerseys that both teams are wearing. The visiting South team is wearing red jerseys with the lettering and numerals in blue and white piping. Each team is wearing their own team's cap to indicate their particular team that they're with. The North team, their jersey is navy blue with the lettering and numbers in red with white piping. The letters, whether it's North or South across the front, are in block. And they have, like a lot of teams do, like the Dodgers, they have that line that comes underneath. But at the bottom of that, at the far right, is a little space shuttle. And in particular, this All-Star Weekend is to commemorate the fact that the space shuttle program is approaching retirement. Only 2 launches are left. And so we definitely want to remember the near 30 years that the space shuttle has been in service for the country. We're going to have a new pitcher here for the North. So Adam Warren worked 1 inning. He gave up a run, 2 hits, struck out 1 and walked none. As you might suspect, All-Star games are a scorer's nightmare. So if you're keeping score, hopefully you've left plenty of room for substitution. I guarantee you that before the night is done, we're going to miss somebody somewhere. Coming in to pitch for the North is number 34, Rafael Dolis from the Daytona Cubs. Dolis, 4-4 with a 2.51 ERA. He's appeared in 12 games for Daytona, 11 as a starter. He's worked 61 innings, given up 53 hits, 17 earned runs, struck out 40, walked 23. He's given up just 2 home runs, and opponents are batting .238 against him. Dolis' ERA at 2.51 is 4th in the Florida State League.
Now coming to bat from the South Division, the designated hitter from the Palm Beach Cardinals, number 15, Xavier Scruggs.
We'll have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the top of the second here for the South. It'll be Xavier Scruggs, followed by Sean Ratliff and Richard Roccabaldo. First pitch by Dolis. Checks the swing. Did he go around it? Well, it was on the outside corner anyway. Strike 1. Scruggs batting right-handed against Dolis. Xavier from my part of the country, Southern California. Next pitch is a breaking ball inside, and the count goes 1-1. Xavier batting .282, 10 homers, 38 RBI. He's fourth in the league in home runs at 10. Next pitch by Dolis. It's going to be a base hit into left field. He tomahawked it over the head of the shortstop Nunez, and it's fielded by Komatsu. So with one out, that'll bring up right fielder Sean Ratliff from the St. Lucie Mets. Ratliff bats left-handed. .271 average, 5 homers, 29 RBI. Does tend to strike out a lot. He's fourth in the league in strikeouts with 66. First pitch fastball way away, and the count's 1-0. See, we have a number of emails already indicating that, yes, there are people out there listening. So thank you very much, and I'll try to get through these as action permits. Next pitch by Dolis is going to be a fly ball to center field. Pretty much right there for the center fielder Jackson, a couple steps to his right. And Ratliff is retired.
Now hitting the left fielder for the Cardinals, number 36, Richard Roccabaldo.
So that'll bring up a number 8 hitter from the Palm Beach Cardinals, number 36, Richard Roccabaldo. He's batting .253, no homers, 22 RBI. Batting right-handed. First pitch by Dolis, fastball inside, and the count's 1-0. We do have a radar gun here at Space Coast Stadium. It's mounted on a pole behind home plate, and the readings are given right beneath the scoreboard in left field. But I've learned that it's not an exact science with that radar gun. 1-0 pitch is going to be a grounder down to short. Nunez to Joseph for one, on to Bishop at first, double play. Textbook 6-4-3 double play. No runs, a hit, no errors, and the DP assures nobody's left. We go to the bottom of the second with the score of the South 1 and the North nothing. I have a question from someone who was asking what the results and numbers were for the home run derby. I don't have the exact numbers. I was down on the field at the time filming videotape, which I hope to get on spacecoastbaseball.com sometime tomorrow. So I'm sure that the Manatees will issue a press release indicating how many were hit. This ballpark is very pitcher-friendly, and so we don't usually get a lot of home runs hit here. I almost kind of expected that nobody would hit one. That wouldn't have surprised me in the least, but they did. And even with the wind blowing hard from left to right, quite a few of them still went out to left field, including the ones that Henry Wrigley hit. So if you check spacecoastbaseball.com in the morning, or you check manatiesbaseball.com, we'll try to have the final information on the home run derby. Henry's sister, Alexandra Wrigley, wants to give a shout out to her brother. I would lean out the window and shout for you, but I'm sorry, I'm middle-aged and I still have some dignity. She's in her home hotel room in Las Vegas listening to the game. Well, congratulations, and I'm trying very hard to say Henry Wrigley and not Henry Wiggly like Baba Wawa or Elma Fudd would. I have to go practice saying Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers, I think. But congratulations, and if you watch the video I shot of the home run derby when it's online tomorrow, you'll see up close the unique award that he received, the carved tiki from the local My Tiki business, MAITIKI.com. We're going to have a new pitcher in for the South, so we'll get you his name and number here in just a moment. It's going to be lefty Jeff Locke from the Bradenton Marauders. So Mark Diapoules looked only one inning, gave up no runs. One hit. Struck out one and walked none. Travis Darno's grandpa in Las Vegas is also listening, so it seems like a lot of people are listening in Las Vegas. Now here's a little fun fact for you. I bet you didn't know that before it became Sin City in the 19th century, Las Vegas was actually a Mormon colony. And if you go behind Cashman Stadium up there in Las Vegas, there's a museum with the remnants of the Mormon colony. So there. First pitch by Locke is swung on by Corbin Joseph, and a little pop fly caught by the shortstop Velasquez for the first out. So I'm sorry to give short shrift there to Corbin Joseph, but next time around we'll get to him. That'll bring up first baseman Raleigh Bishop, batting .316 on the year, 5 homers, 38 RBI. His .316 average, 7th in the Florida State League. And he's third in doubles with 18, batting right-handed against the southpaw Locke. First pitch by Jeff. It's a fastball, 88 miles an hour, and it counts 0-1. Jeff Locke from North Conway, New Hampshire. Bishop checks his swing. Did not go around. The count's 1-1. 5-3 with a 3.99 ERA in 12 starts. Next pitch, fastball misses away, and the count's 1-2. 58 2/3 innings, 57 hits, 26 earned runs, 55 strikeouts, 11 walks. He's given up 6 home runs this year. Swung out and missed on a changeup, and the count goes 2-2. Locke is a control artist. His ratio of walks to 9 per 9 innings is the 5th lowest in the league. Only 1.69 walks per 9 innings. 2-2 pitch. Fastball down the middle. Strike 3 called. Too good to take. That may have actually been a changeup. He may have taken something off of that, and that may be what it is that fooled Bishop. Looking up at the radar, said only 80 miles an hour. But I also know that radar sometimes is not an exact science. I've seen fastballs show up at about 60-something. So sometimes a little skeptical, but most of the time it gets it right. That'll bring up Manatees left fielder Eric Komatsu, batting left-handed. First pitch by Locke is fouled back into the net, and the count's 0-1. Komatsu batting .315, a homer, 25 RBI. Like Sergio Miranda, he's a contact artist. Next pitch by Locke. Fastball misses down low. The count's 1-1. Miranda has the best ratio in the league, striking out the least often at once every 14 plate appearances. Komatsu's second at 12.45. Next pitch by Locke is a foul ball down the left field line. It's going to get into the second row of the stands. A gentleman with a glove, smart man, leapt for it, but like me, he's middle-aged and can't leap as high as he used to, so it got over his head into the second row. Another gentleman fielded it. We were saying earlier, the stadium here horseshoe-shaped, and about the bottom third is all box seats. Then you have a concrete walkway. Above that are the remaining 2/3 of the seats. Here's a slow grounder down to second, fielded by Satine, who goes on to Welch at first for the final out. So Jeff Locke gets the 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second, and after 2, the South 1, the North nothing. Let me finish telling you about the ballpark. We were saying the upper 2/3 above the concrete walkway. Most of that are also box seats, but the last sections down both the left and field line are aluminum bench seats. During the regular season, everything here is general admission with the exception of season tickets, which have yellow stickers on them. Down the foul lines, on the foul poles, we have banners honoring the 2 space shuttle orbiters that were lost in the line of duty. Challenger lost January 28th of 1986 is on the right field foul pole, and Columbia lost on February 1st of 2003 is on the left field foul pole. Beneath both banners are advertisements for SpaceX, we were telling you about earlier, co-sponsor of this All-Star game. You can visit their website at www.spacex.com. We're going to have another new pitcher for the North. Appears to be number 31, Henderson Alvarez. From the Dunedin Blue Jays. And before I get into Henderson, you're probably thinking, well, how the heck did that guy know that Las Vegas was a Mormon colony? I used to, in fact I still do, cover the Los Angeles Angels minor leagues on another website, futureangels.com, which I've been doing for about 12, 13 years. And the Angels have a AAA team in Salt Lake City, which of course is the hub for most Mormon activities in the country. But it's a lot easier for me to at least want to live in Southern California to drive up the I-15 to Las Vegas than to Salt Lake. So a lot of times I would head up to Vegas and I'd be the only person in town not gambling because I'd be at the ballpark. And they have that museum out behind Cashman Stadium just north of the freeway telling the history of the Mormon colony in Las Vegas. All right, 1-0. The South still leading the North as we go to the top of the third.
Leading off this inning for the South Division, the shortstop from the Charlotte Stonecrafts, number 6,
Isaias Velasquez leads it off, and we go back to the top of the lineup with Quincy Lattimore and Josh Chatine. First pitch taken for a strike, 0-1. Next pitch by Alvarez. Breaking ball popped up high, drifting into foul territory. The first baseman for the North dives for it, but Bishop couldn't come up with it. The wind, as we said, blowing pretty hard, but game time is around 10 miles an hour. The ball was drifting on Bishop. It carried into foul territory. He was on the warning track, and as he reached the railing, he dove for it, but couldn't come up with it, and he bounced into the railing. But he's fine, and the count's 0-2. Next pitch by Alvarez. Down and away, and the count's 1-2. Let's tell you about Mr. Velasquez before we dispose of him one way or the other. Batting .269, no homers, 16 RBI. Second in stolen bases in the league at 22. He's a native of Panama. Originally signed by the Cleveland Indians in August of 2004, but was traded by Cleveland to the Tampa Bay Rays for pitcher Juan Salas in February 2009. There's a slider that misses away, and the count goes 2-2. Right-hander Alvarez winds in the 2-2 pitch. Big breaking ball, and he nubs it down to first. Up with it is Bishop, who will take it to the bag himself for the second out. Good work by Henderson Alvarez racing over to cover the bag. They get drilled incessantly in spring training about pitcher's fielding practice. And if there's a ball hit to the first base side, a pitcher is expected to get over the bag to cover for just that kind of situation, but Stephen Welch had it himself. So one down, back to the top of the lineup. Quincy Lattimore takes the first pitch, and the count's 0-1. Lattimore led off the game with a single. Breaking ball hits the inside corner, and the count's 0-2. He advanced to second on a single by Josh Chatine, moved to third on a ground out, and scored on another ground out for the only run of the game. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed on a fastball. The radar shows 93 miles an hour, and Henderson Alvarez just reared right back, put it in his eyes, and Quincy Lattimore couldn't catch up with it. So Alvarez gets his first strikeout on the year in 58 and a third innings. He's 5-2 with a 2.78 ERA and has 40 strikeouts, only 11 walks in 58 and a third innings. Breaking ball is, Bob Euchre would say, just a bit outside by about 2 feet, and it goes to the backstop. And the count's 1-0 to Josh Chatine. He singled his first time up, advanced on a fielder's choice to second, and was stranded. 1-0 pitch is a foul ball that curls out of the stadium on the first base side. Once again, if you want to send an email, you can email me at home@spacecoastbaseball.com. That's home@spacecoastbaseball.com. 1-1 pitch by Alvarez. Breaking ball. It's hung a little bit, and it's a fly ball to dead left, but Eric Komatsu is right there for the final out. So the South goes 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the third, and the South continues to lead the North by a score of 1-0. We get a note from somebody in Texas saying that they just lost the connection for the webcast. I'm showing it's still working on this end, so hopefully you got it back. If you miss any part of this broadcast, it will be archived sometime tomorrow on spacecoastbaseball.com, so you'll be able to listen to the whole thing. And if you're interested in any other games we've webcast for the Manatees this year, when you go to spacecoastbaseball.com, click on Multimedia and select Audios, and you'll see all the games that we've called so far this year. We'll have more games in the second half than in the first half. And we have some listeners from Port Charlotte, no doubt Charlotte Stone Crabs fans and also Tampa Bay Ray fans. Congratulations to Henry Wrigley on winning the home run derby from Karen and Buster. We're also asked how many home runs and who came in second. As I said, I don't know how many because I was on the field filming at the time, and I'll get that film online tomorrow. The person who came in second was Quincy Lattimore from Bradenton, and they actually went into sudden death because they were tied after their playoff. I see we got a third person listening from Las Vegas, telling me that Ben Lassiter is a Las Vegas native. So, you know what? Maybe next year we're just going to move this All-Star game to Las Vegas and get it over with. I like Cashman Stadium. I know there's been talk about a new stadium for a few years, but I kind of like the architectural design. It has those spiral pedestrian ramps. I think those are kind of cool. And I see more shouts out from the Wrigley family. One says they're celebrating with top shelf margaritas. Are those non-alcoholic? Can't say that I would know. Congratulations to Henry from his mother, Kelly. And as I said, watch the video tomorrow so you can see the tiki that he won. We could be a little weird here in Space Coast. Someone asked if I have any thoughts on Henry Wrigley. My thinking is I wish he was with my favorite team, which I'll keep off the record for tonight, but I am wearing that on my logo on my watch right now. Jack Wright leading it off in the bottom of the third, and we have another new starting pitcher. Let me see if I can get you his name and number for you. It's a right-hander. First pitch up and in, ball one. I believe it's Billy Bullock from the Fort Myers Miracle, who is a tall drink of water, and that's definitely who's on the mound. I think that's Billy Bullock, number 35. This is, again, the count's 2-0. We saw Billy pitch here a couple of weeks ago on one of the Manatees webcasts that we did. Fastball inside, 93 miles an hour, and the count goes 3-0. Bullock, 2.97 ERA with the Fort Myers Miracle, who are a Minnesota Twins affiliate. Fastball hits the outside corner, and the count's 3-1. In 23 relief appearances for Fort Myers, he has 11 saves. 3-1 pitch is a grounder down the first baseline foul. He's worked 30 1/3 innings, given up 33 hits, 10 earned runs. Struck out 41 in those 30 1/3 innings, walked 17, and given up only one home run. When he pitched here, his trouble was location. This is a fly ball into short left field. Racing over is the left fielder who dives, and he misses the ball, gets past him for a base hit. Going into second base with a leadoff double will be Jack Rye. Left fielder is Richard Roccabaldo, and quite frankly, it's going to be hard to keep up, especially as we get into later innings and we see more lineup changes. So far as I know, it's only been pitchers so far, but I suspect after 3 innings, we're probably going to see more changes. Jack Rye on second with a leadoff double, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Gustavo Nunez. Nunez got named to the All-Star team for his glove. He's the best shortstop in the league. First pitch is fouled down the left field line, and the count's 0-1. He's batting only .225, no homers, 15 RBI. But he leads Florida State League shortstops in fielding average at .968, and in total chances with .309, and putouts with 109, and assists with 190. Next pitch misses, and the count's 1-1. He's from that shortstop nursery, San Pedro de Marcari in Dominican Republic. Bullock's next pitch is a hard grounder. Diving for it and missing it is the first baseman, Welch, and it goes into right field for a base hit. Going to third on the single is Jack Rye.
Now hitting the top of the order, the center fielder from the Tampa Cardinals, number 13, Brett Jackson.
So wouldn't you know it, the 225 guy gets a line drive off the ace closer of the Fort Myers Miracle and puts runners at the corners with nobody out. We go back to the top of the lineup for center fielder Brett Jackson from the Daytona Cubs. He reached in the bottom of the first on an error, but was eliminated on a double play. Bullock's first pitch, there goes Nunez, but the pitch is fouled into the stands on the third base side, and the count's 0-1. Jackson, number 31 pick overall in the 2009 draft, selected by the Cubs in the first round out of Cal Berkeley. Batting left-handed. Pitch misses inside with a fastball that counts 1-1. Bullock really does project as a potential closer in the future for the Twins, but he's got to get his mechanical problems resolved. There's a breaking ball that he leaves up high, and it counts 2-1. This is the problem we saw with him when Fort Myers was here on May 27, is he just couldn't hit his release points, and he wound up walking in the winning run. Next pitch is going to be a line drive into right field for a base hit. That'll score Rye. Stopping at second is Nunez. And the North ties it up at 1-1. So that'll bring up the hometown boy, Sergio Miranda, eliminated on a 3-6 double play, his first time up. Nunez off second, Jackson off first. Fastball misses away, and it counts 1-0. Miranda is a switch hitter, and he's batting left-handed for the second time. Next pitch by Bullock is a hard foul. Wow. Line drive foul right into the stands on the third base side into a cluster of fans. And I think somebody got nailed. If it was an adult. They're all standing up, but they seem to be okay. 1-1 pitch by Bullock. Fastball misses inside, and it counts 2-1. Miranda was originally with the Chicago White Sox, selected in the 13th round of the 2007 draft. He was traded to the Brewers in March spring training of 2009 for future considerations. There's a grounder down the left field line off the tarp, rolled up against the wall. It counts 2-2. Out of Virginia Commonwealth. He leads the league in two statistics, one of which I mentioned earlier, is the fewest strikeouts per plate appearances. There's a line drive into right field. Giving ground is the South right fielder, Ratliff, for the out. Advancing to third is Nunez. While remaining on first is Jackson. Miranda lined it, but it held up long enough for Ratliff to get to. So with runners at the corners and 2 outs, that'll bring up catcher Travis d'Arnaud, who singled his first time up with 2 outs in the first. As we said earlier, he was part of a blockbuster trade last December that sent ace pitcher Roy Halladay from Toronto to Philadelphia. First pitch by Bullock, swung on and missed, strike one. So this could be a future big league matchup if Bullock makes it to the big leagues one day with the Minnesota Twins and d'Arnaud with the Blue Jays. They could be facing each other sometime in the future. 0-1 pitch. Fastball just missed off the outside corner. Home plate umpire didn't give it to him. Count 1-1. Next pitch by Bullock is a curveball grounded to the left of the third baseman, goes on to second for one and on to first, not in time. The South third baseman, Henry Wrigley, went on to the second baseman, Satine, for one, who then went on to Welch, but it was not in time. So d'Arnaud is on first. Erased at second, 5-4 is Brett Jackson. And scoring is Nunez to make it 2-1 in favor of the North Division. At the plate is Cody Overbeck. Takes first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Next pitch by Bullock is a breaking ball, swung on and missed, and the count goes 0-2. And that was a nice sweeping breaking ball that looked like it was going to come over the plate and then took a nice deep cut and went away from Overbeck. So if he could repeat that pitch, that's a good pitch. And the 0-2 pitch, same thing, and it's a fly ball to center field, giving ground as the center fielder Lattimore to the warning track as the ball carries. Lattimore catches up with it for the final out. But the North get on the board and take the lead with 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We've gone 3 in the 2010 Florida State League All-Star game with the score of the North 2 and the South 1. Now I mentioned there might be a time where I have to leave the headset for just a little bit. This is one of those times because it's getting dark here in the booth and I need to turn on the lights, so I'll be right back. While we wait for the top of the 4th to begin, I want to alert Brevard County listeners that this game is being videotaped by Bright House Cable Network for telecast on its sports channel. So if you live in Brevard County or in Central Florida and you get the Bright House Sports Network on your cable system, it's channel 47. It's not being telecast live, but it will be seen tomorrow on Sunday at 2 p.m. on channel 47. It also gets repeated several other times in the next month. If you go to my homepage at www.spacecoastbaseball.com, if you look at the right column under Need to Know, I will be listing there when that game is going to be telecast. And the first time is tomorrow at 2. And I know that there are going to be other replays. We have 2 changes here. The new pitcher for the North is number 50, Brian Viera from the Lakeland Flying Tigers. And we have a new catcher. And that's Mitch Abeta from the Tampa Yankees, number 28. First pitch by Villarreal is taken. The count's 1-0. Tony Cruz leading it off for Palm Beach. Then Henry Wrigley, followed by Stephen Welch. Next pitch is a grounder down to second, backhanded by Joseph, who goes on to Bishop for the out. Okay, all you Wrigley fans, listen up.
Now hitting the third baseman from the Charlotte Stonecraft, number 15, Henry Wrigley.
Henry Wrigley, the winner of the home run derby before the game, steps in. He's 0 for 1, grounded to third his first time up. Pitch by Villarreal, breaking ball, and first pitch is grounded down to Joseph again behind the bag at second, on to first, and there's 2 down. So very quickly, 2 ground outs for Villarreal.
Now hitting the first baseman from the St. Lucie Mets, number 5, Stephen Welch.
And that'll bring in Stephen Welch. Brian Villarreal out of Venezuela was signed by the Tigers as a free agent in October 2005. He would have been around 18 at that point. He's now 23. His first pitch to Welch. This is inside, ball 1. He's a starter for Lakeland. He's made 12 starts, 7-3 with a 3.33 ERA. Next pitch, fastball hits the inside corner, 92 miles an hour, and it counts 1-1. In 67 2/3 innings, he's given up 56 hits, struck out 72, and walked 22. Leads the league in wins with 7. 1-1 pitch is fouled down the left field line, and it's going to curl over the aluminum bleachers. No. Actually, my eyesight's pretty bad. That fell into the box seats. I thought that was curling out of the stadium, but actually it wasn't. Well, you'll understand when you're 53 and counting. So the count's 1-2 on Welch. Viera in a long set, holding the glove up over his face. Now he steps off the rubber. And now he's ready to go, and the next pitch is swung on. It's a hard grounder down to Joseph again, so Corbin will get all 3 plays, 3 ground outs, and the rest of the field wasn't necessary. 1, 2, 3, and as they go to the bottom of the 4th, the North leads the South by a score of 2-1. Henry Wrigley's grandma sends her love. Identifies herself as Elvira. Well, having grown up in Southern California, I watched The Real Deal Elvira. Corbin Joseph's grandfather, Clay Joseph, listening on the internet from Springfield, Missouri. You just heard him retire all 3 batters on ground balls. I think he's got a good thing going there with Viera. Maybe they need to be a duo. We have a listener calling who's emailing from Maine. Says that his daughter's boyfriend, Jeff Locke, pitched the 2nd inning. Actually, the Angels have a pitcher by the name of Stephen Locke, and I just gave away my favorite team there. But I mentioned earlier that I cover the Angels minor leagues on the other side, FutureAngels.com, and I know they have a Stephen Locke who Jeff reminds me a lot of, and I was wondering if there might be any way that they're related. I don't think they are because they're different parts of the country. But anyway, Jeff did a good job. Bradenton Marauders fan emailing in, Brad Myers. Glad that you guys have a minor league team this year, getting the old Sarasota Reds. They have 2 more changes now, as we suspect will begin to happen. For the South, a new catcher is number 26, Chris Herman. And the new pitcher is number 41, Matt Frevert from the Palm Beach Cardinals. Frevert. I've heard the PA guys say Frevert. I'm going to go with Frevert, and hopefully one of us is right. So far, no pitcher has gone more than 1 inning. And in fact, if you look at the rosters for both sides, there were really only a couple of starting pitchers. Most of the rest of the guys were either setup relievers or closers, which kind of makes sense when you think about it, because in this kind of game, you want guys who are used to pitching frequently for short periods of time. First pitch to Corbin Joseph is taken for a strike, 0-1. Corbin popped out to shortstop his first time up. Next pitch by the right-hander Frevert. Fastball way high, and it counts 1-1. Matt on the mound is showing those classic St. Louis Cardinal pull-up stirrups, red with the white horizontal stripes. His next pitch, fastball hits the outside corner, 89 miles an hour, and it counts 1-2. Frevert 6-1 with a 1.47 ERA and 25 relief appearances. Joseph checks his swing. Did he go around? No. Catcher Herman tagged him as if he might have gone around, but he didn't. And it counts 2-2. In 30 2/3 innings, Frevert struck out 37, walked just 7. He's given up only 1 home run. League batting 194 against him. Corbin hits a high pop-up into short left center field. The center fielder, Quincy Lattimore, calls off the shortstop Velasquez to take it for the first out. So with one out, that'll bring up the first baseman from the Lakeland Flying Tigers, Raleigh Bishop, who struck out looking his first time up. Righty against righty, and the first pitch by Frabert is fouled back here. It gets over the backstop net and goes just above the press box booth over to the right of us. Next pitch by Frabert, swung on and missed, and the count's 0-2. Next pitch by Matt, fastball up and in, and the count's 1-2. Someone listening in Munford, Tennessee from Overbeck Roofing Solutions. Gosh, I wonder if that's related to Cody. Swung on and missed, strike 3. But the Overbeck people send a congratulations to Henry Wrigley for winning the Home Run Derby. So that brings up left fielder Eric Komatsu from the Brevard County Manatees. We are a Milwaukee Brewers affiliate playing in a Washington Nationals spring training stadium, which gets to be a little confusing at times because you walk in and you see W's everywhere. This pitch is swung on, and it's a slow grounder down to the shortstop Velasquez, who goes on to Welch at first for the final out. So good relief job done by Matt Frabert, getting a pop out, a strikeout, and a grounder to short. 1, 2, 3. And after 4, it's the north 2, the south 1. Pitcher Neil Shank with the Charlotte Stone Crabs. His mother emails and says that she's listening in. And, you know, quite honestly, that's one reason why we're doing this webcast. As I mentioned, the Manatees have not had a radio contract for a couple of years, and in all the years that I covered the Angels minor leagues for FutureAngels.com, I understood how important it was for you players, parents, and other loved ones to be able to hear your sons when they were out pursuing their career that you hope will result in a lot of money and that you can live the rest of your retirement years off of them instead of having to put money away. But in any case, I know how hard that is when you have sons that are 19, 20, 21 years old and they're away from home for the first time. So you want to be able to hear how they're doing. And so that was why we got this game out there for you, so that you'd have a chance to hear this. And like I said, I videotaped the banquet last night. You can't see much because it was fairly dark, but you will definitely see the speakers. And so if you watch that on Space Coast Baseball, you'll see that. The Home Run Derby will be up sometime tomorrow, so you'll see some of that. And from your Brevard County Manatees, now pitching number 41, Michael Fires. We have a new pitcher for the North. It's going to be number 41, Michael Fires, from the Brevard County Manatees. I also heard somebody from Lakeland is in the lineup now. And given that, I'm going down the roster here, I think all the other Lakeland Tigers have been in the lineup so far. So by process of elimination, that would be Cody Kaiser, who would be number 35. But I'll see if I can confirm that. Leading off the top of the fifth for the South will be Xavier Scruggs, followed by Sean Ratliff and Richard Roccabaldo. Scruggs singled to lead off the second. Fires working from the far first base side of the rubber, and the first pitch is swung on, and it's a line drive to right field. Giving ground is the right fielder, and it's gone for a home run. Xavier Scruggs ties it up with a line drive, opposite field home run, going with the wind to right, and it just barely left the field. Here at Space Coast Stadium, from center to right field, we have the 8-foot-high fence. Then above that is a second row of fencing that has ads for various local sponsors. If you were to walk out there, you would see that there's a separation of a couple of feet between the lower level and the upper level. There is, in fact, a yellow line that goes across the top of the bottom fence. And so that ball got right in between the lower fence and the upper fence. First pitch misses outside, 1-0 to Sean Ratliff, who flied out to center his first time up. Fires 1-0 pitch. Fastball missed off the outside corner, and the count goes 2-1. Fires was drafted last year by the Brewers in the 22nd round out of Nova Southeastern University here in Florida. 2-0 pitch. This time the fastball hits the outside corner, and the count's 2-1. And it looked like he'd be destined for a career as a reliever, but the Brewers moved into the starting rotation with the Manatees this year. And he has a 3-6 record with a 3.55 ERA. Fastball swung on and fouled right back into the net, and it counts 2-2. Michael turns 25 on Tuesday. He's fifth in the league in strikeouts with 74. Fourth in innings pitched with 71. So he's made the transition from the bullpen to starting quite nicely. 2-2 pitch. Misses inside, and the count goes full, 3-2. On deck, Richard Roccabaldo. Fires has the second lowest whip in the league at 1.00. Now you're thinking, what's that? No, that's not what Indiana Jones uses. That's walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. Here's a line drive into center field for a base hit. One bounce straight to Brett Jackson in dead center. So it's a base hit for Sean Ratliff.
Now hitting the left fielder from the Bobby Cardinals, number 36, Richard Roccabaldo.
So he said Fires has the second lowest whip in the league at 1.00. And the way that works is if you were to add up his walks and his hits and divide that by innings pitched, that's how you get that number. So in 10 innings, if he gave up 8 hits and 2 walks, that adds up to 10, and 10 divided by 10 innings would give you 1. First pitch is a line drive foul that exits the stadium on the first base side, and the count's 0-1. Fires second and lowest batting average against in the league at 207. But he also leads the league in hit batters at 10. Curveball hits the outside corner, and the count's 0-2. Email from Cody Kaiser's family listening. I'll try to figure out if he is the latest substitution, but as I said, I think we're going to start to lose track of people here. Fastball misses, and the count's 1-2. One way to keep track of some of these changes is on the minor league baseball website. There's a big breaking ball swung on and missed. Strike 3. So first strikeout for Fires, and that'll bring up the shortstop Velasquez. If you go to www.milb.com, and when you get to the homepage for minor league baseball, click on Scoreboard on the menu bar. There's a curveball, and it misses 1-0. When you click on Scoreboard on the menu bar, select the Florida State League All-Star Game. You select the Florida State League. FSL followed by All-Star Game, as I've said quite a lot in the last 24 hours. There's a grounder to the shortstop, Nunez, who steps on the bag and goes on to Bishop at first for the final out. So it's a 6-3 double play. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. To the bottom of the fifth, 4.5 innings. The South and North are tied at 2. So in any case, if you go to MILB.com, click on Scoreboard, and select the Florida State League, you'll see the line score for the All-Star Game. If you click on Recap, if you click on Box, it gives you the box score to date. Recap gives you the play-by-play, and they will also list scoring decisions and also defensive substitutions. And looking at that, I see the top of the fifth that it was Cody Kaiser who replaced center fielder Brett Jackson. So Cody Kaiser has been in center field for the top half of the fifth. And Cody is wearing number 35 tonight. Well, I'm glad when I bought my scorebook before the season that I got one that for each batting slot had space for 2 substitutions underneath the batter, because I'm definitely going to need it tonight. All right, 2-2 tie going to the bottom of the fifth between the South and the North. And we have another new pitcher in for the South. Number 27, Neil Shank. So, Mom, you just emailed in and you got what you wanted. Neil Shank, lefty now in the pitch in the bottom of the fifth for the South. Born in New Orleans, Louisiana, and Mrs. Shank, I'll let you know that everybody on my mom's side is from New Orleans. He was selected by the Rays in the 23rd round of the June 2008 draft. He's been in 19 games in relief for the Charlotte Stonecrabs, 2-0 with a 1.14 ERA. In 31 2/3 innings, he's given up 26 hits, only 4 earned runs, struck out 49 in 31 2/3 innings, and walked only 5. Given up just 1 dinger, and opponents batting just .218 against him. And, Mom, just to let you know, happy birthday to Neil. He turns 24 on Thursday, so make sure you have the birthday card in the mail. And Neil is third in the league in the highest ratio of strikeouts per 9 inning at 13.93. All right, Jack Rye leading it off in the bottom of the fifth for the North, to be followed by Nunez and then Cody Kaiser. Rye doubled to lead off the bottom of the third. Batting left-handed against the southpaw Shank. The first pitch, fastball hits the outside corner, strike 1. Rye doubled, advanced to third on the single by Nunez, and then scored on the single by Jackson. This fastball misses away, and the count's 1-1. Outfield shaded just a little bit to the right field side. 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses a good 6 inches outside, and the count's 2-1. Neil working from the stretch on the 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed, and the count's 2-2. 89-mile-an-hour fastball, according to the radar gun. Shortstop Nunez almost out on the grass out at short. Breaking ball misses away, and the count's 3-2. On deck is the shortstop, Gustavo Nunez. 3-2 pitch. Just missed the outside corner with a fastball, ball 4, and Jack Rye is on with a leadoff walk.
Now hitting the shortstop from position, linebacker, number 1, Gustavo Nunez.
So that'll bring up Gustavo Nunez, who, as we said, came into the game hitting .225, and wouldn't you know, he got the single off of Bullock to advance the runner to third. Got him in scoring position, and then later on he scored himself. First pitch swung on and foul back, counts 0-1. Henry Wrigley over at third is good, 10 feet off the bag. Next pitch by Shank is a line drive into center field, giving ground as Quincy Lattimore one hands it going away for the first out, and retreating to first base is Jack Rye. So for a guy who supposedly can't hit, Gustavo Nunez has a single and a line drive to center field. So we go back to the top of the lineup, and it'll be the first at-bat for Cody Kaiser from the Lakeland Flying Tigers. And for the Kaiser family, I'll suggest you go to my website at spacecoastbaseball.com, and on the menu bar select multimedia and look up photos of professional ball players, because I think I took some photos of Cody when the Tigers were here earlier in the year. First pitch taken for strike, 0-1. I've only gotten out here for a couple of games to do photography this year, but I'll try to get more teams in the second half. 0-1 pitch, fastball hits the outside corner, and the count's 0-2. On deck, Sergio Miranda. Schenk comes set, looks over at the runner at first, and the 0-2 pitch is a slow bouncer down to Overbeck at third. Long throw over to first. I'm sorry, that's not Overbeck, that's Wrigley. On to Welch at first for the out. And batting to second is Jack Rye on the fielder's choice. We're going to have a pinch hitter for Sergio Miranda. It'll be another Brevard County Manatee favorite, Matt Klein, who will now become the designated hitter. Klein missed all of 2009. Haven't been quite able to find out why. He was on a restricted list, but a lot of times that just means you had a personal reason why you didn't play that year. First pitch misses away, 1-0. But he's come back with a vengeance. He's hitting .312 this year. No homers, 14 RBI. He's third in the league in on-base percentage at .419. Bats right-handed. Rye takes his lead off at second, and the 0-1 pitch as a fastball hits the outside corner, and the count's 1-1. Matt leads the league in owies, hit by pitches 11 times. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball misses away, and the count's 2-1. The Manatees, not a very good team this year, but the one thing they do well is make contact. We mentioned that Sergio Miranda and Eric Komatsu 1 and 2 in the league in making contact. Matt Klein is number 5. He strikes out once every 10.2 at bats. 2-1 pitch is a foul ball over on the first base side that throws out of the park, and the count's 2-2. Matt also leads the league best fielding by third baseman, leading in fielding average at .981. He's committed only 2 errors in 105 chances. Drafted by the Brewers in the 22nd round of the June 2007 draft. Was born in Anaheim Hills, pretty close to where I used to live. 2-2 pitch. This is away with a fastball, and the count's 3-2. On deck is the catcher, Mitch Abeta. 2-2 tie here in the bottom of the 5th, the South and the North. Jack Rye on second, taking a walking lead. 3-2 count on hometown favorite Matt Klein. Schenk looks back, and the 3-2 pitch. This is inside with a fastball, ball 4.
Now hitting from the Tampa Yankees, the catcher, number 28, Mitch Abeta.
So that brings up the catcher, Mitch Abeta, who came in the 4th for Travis Darnaud. So it's his first at-bat, batting .243 on the year with no homers, 14 RBI. He hits right-handed. Selected by the Yankees in the 19th round of the June 2008 draft. Swings at the first pitch and hits a foul ball back here towards the press box, and the count's 0-1. Abeta is tied with Tony Cruz of the Palm Beach Cardinals for most games played a catcher this year at 43. It's also tied with Cruz for double plays with 4. Terry Wyatt from Bradenton says, thanks for the broadcast. Thank you for listening. And like I said, I'm glad Bradenton has a minor league team this year. This pitch is swung on. It's just a little foul ball behind the plate, and the count's 0-2. Sure would like to see the Pittsburgh Pirates turn that franchise around. I always say my dream World Series is Pittsburgh and Kansas City. No, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Shank's 0-2 pitch, fastball up and away, and it counts 1-2. Congratulations to Henry Wrigley for winning the Home Run Derby, and all the Charlotte Stone Crabs from Randy and Tony Vogt of Visalia. I suspect they're related to Stephen Vogt of the Charlotte Stone Crabs. And I have family relations in Visalia as well on my dad's side. So my mom's side is out of New Orleans. Here's a hard grounder down to third. It's going to be backhanded foul by Wrigley. My mom's side of New Orleans. My dad's side out of Visalia by way of El Centro. Kelly Wrigley asks, where do I live? She says she's in San Clemente. Well, I just moved here a year ago from Irvine, where I lived since 1995. And I worked for the city of Irvine starting in 1978. 1-2 pitch is a foul ball that's going to fall into the stands behind the home team dugout on the first base side. A fan leans out and tries to catch it with his cap. So the count remains 1-2. Now, my wife and I relocated here a year ago to the Space Coast. It's incredibly beautiful out here, in addition to all the rockets going off at the Space Center. If you're a space geek, you love that. It also happens to be the second largest, or happens to be the largest wildlife refuge in the continental United States. 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss on a fastball. And Neil Shank has his first strikeout of the game. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, and 2 left. We've gone 5 here at Space Coast Stadium, the 2010 Florida State League All-Star Game. It's the South 2 and the North 2. So I was telling you that in addition to all the space stuff, we happen to be the largest wildlife refuge in the continental United States. That was formed Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge when Kennedy Space Center was created in the 1960s. All the beautiful land around that was set aside as a wildlife refuge, one to protect the incredible diversity of wildlife we have, but also with those rockets to go up, that they didn't fall on people in their homes. We also have Port Canaveral here, which is one of the biggest cruise ship departure points in the country. I think it's number 2, but don't quote me on that one. And it's just a beautiful place to live, and we have a diversity of professional and amateur baseball. There's also a new startup semi-pro league here called the National Extreme Baseball League. Their website is www.n-xbl.com. Or you can look them up by their format, which is called Double Diamond Baseball. It's www.doublediamondbaseball.com. And their concept is that in addition to the regular field, next to the white bases, they have a second set of bases that are colored orange. So what happens in every inning, the first batter runs the bases traditionally counterclockwise on the white bases, but then the batter that comes after that runs clockwise to the orange bases. And they alternate. So what in theory could happen is you could wind up with bases loaded with 3 runners on white bases, 3 runners on orange bases, and have a 7-run grand slam. You see things you haven't seen before, and if you look on SpaceCoastBaseball.com under videos on the left-hand side, you'll see some video clips that I filmed at the opening game of the Space Coast Rockets here last month. But the really insidious thing about it is that if you're a left-hander, what it does is it creates the imbalance built into the game for 150 years, as you know, because the runners go counterclockwise. Lefties cannot play second, short, or third, nor can they catch. Well, if every other batter is running clockwise on the orange bases, then it really doesn't matter if you're left or right-handed, because overall it evens out. So as a southpaw myself, I got to say, I really like it. But as a purist, I know a lot of people rebel, and I'm a purist myself. But I think it's a lot of fun. So check it out, look at the videos, and also check out n-xbl.com. New pitcher for the North is number 37, Austin Hyatt. And Richard Roccaballa leading it off here in the top of the 6th for the South. First pitch is that pop foul, high, arcing, out of the stands on the first base side, one row away from going up on the aluminum overhang. Instead, it bounced off of a box seat and into one of the luxury suites. 0-1. Next pitch by Austin Hyatt. This is away and the count's 1-1. Austin Hyatt from the Clearwater Threshers. 1-1 pitch. It's fouled right back into the net, and the count's 1-2. Hyatt has appeared in 12 games this year for the Threshers. Started 10 games. Overall record of 6-4 with a 4.62 ERA. Right-hander winds at his 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, and Rockaball just gets a piece of it and it rolls back towards the South team's on-deck circle. And the count remains 1-2. Austin turned 24 on May 23rd. Let's try that again. Austin turned 24 on May 23rd. Third in the Florida State League in strikeouts with 81. And averages 11.79 strikeouts per 9 innings. But he gets them on a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And Richard Roccaballa goes down swinging. You know what? And that's the wrong guy. I apologize. We're back at the top of the lineup, and it's Quincy Lattimore. Well, I knew I'd start to lose track of people, and it took longer than I thought it would. I thought that I'd be thoroughly confused by the fourth, but I made it into the sixth. All right, so Quincy Lattimore leads off against Austin Hyatt and strikes out for the second time, and now it's Josh Satin, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out to left. First pitch by Hyatt is fouled back into the net, and the count's 0-1. Roger DeWitt from Lakeland, Florida, no doubt a Lakeland Flying Tigers fan, emails in. There's a breaking ball, also fouled back into the count's 0-2. And says he's going to try to watch the game on Bright House tomorrow. Roger, I'm not sure. I checked out the Bright House Sports Network website, and they have 2 links, one for Tampa and one that says Central Florida. Now, I know it's going to be on Central Florida 47, but you might try, I think it's bhsn.com. That takes you to the Bright House Sports Network website. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3. So that's the second strikeout for Austin Hyatt. So with 2 down, that'll bring up the catcher, Chris Herman.
Now hitting the catcher from the Fort Myers Barricade, number 26, Chris Herman.
But in any case, Roger, if you go to my website, over under Need to Know, there's where it talks about the telecast tomorrow. You click on the words Bright House Sports Network, and it should take you directly to that page, and you'll see where it says Tampa in Central Florida. Take the Tampa link, because I'm assuming that's what you have in Lakeland. First pitch is a curveball, strike 1. And then look up their schedule for tomorrow and see if it's on your network. 0-1 pitch. Fastball inside corner, 0-2. I was out at Lakeland earlier in the year when the local college team here, Florida Tech, was at Henley Field to play Florida Southern College. This is inside with a ball, and the count's 1-2. Historic Henley Field in Lakeland was used as the home field in an HBO movie called Long Gone that aired about 23 years ago. Fastball misses outside, and the count's 2-2. Long Gone is one of those forgotten baseball gems. It's not even on DVD. I found it on VHS. But if you use Google or Yahoo to look up Long Gone baseball movie or Long Gone HBO, you should be able to find it. This one is a little pop foul down the third base line, racing over towards the tarp. To catch it is the third baseman, Cody Overbeck, for the final out. So Austin Hyatt gets 2 strikeouts and a pop foul to retire the South in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th with the score tied at 2. Real quickly to wrap up on Henley Field and Long Gone. That movie was about based on fact. It was based on an old minor league called I think it's called the Florida Alabama League the Florida-Georgia League. I think it's Florida-Alabama League that existed in the late 50s. And the main team in the film is a fictional team. It's the Tampico Stogies. But for you Palm Beach Cardinals fans, the villains in the film are the Cardinals, the minor league Cardinals team. And I don't want to ruin much more of it for you, but the co-owners of the Tampico Stogies are played by the late Henry Gibson. And if you've heard of the comedy duo Penn and Teller, the magicians who do a comedy act, as you know, Teller is always silent, but he speaks quite a bit in Long Gone. So if you're interested in finding Long Gone, about all I can suggest is maybe try eBay, because as I said, it's only out on VHS, and I don't know where else you might find it other than maybe Amazon if somebody is selling a used copy. We have some changes, so hang on for just a moment. So Ben Lasser is now at first base from the Jupiter Hammerheads. And Noah Kroll is now pitching for the South. So number 30, Ben Lassiter, is now at first base, and we'll assume he's batting in Welch's number 5 slot. And number 51, Noah Kroll from the Bradenton Marauders, is the new pitcher. Lassiter, like I said, is from the Jupiter Hammerheads, a Florida Marlins affiliate. At one time, the Manatees were actually a Marlins affiliate, and Space Coast Stadium was the spring training home of the Florida Marlins. But as a result of a complicated transaction where the owner of the Expos, Jeff Lurie, took over the Marlins, there was a swap in which the Expos, this became their spring training home. And then, of course, the Expos moved to D.C. in 2005 and became the Washington Nationals. And in the Florida State League, the Manatees, which were the Marlins affiliate, became an Expos affiliate. And then when the Expos moved to D.C., they moved their advanced Class A affiliate to Potomac, and the Brewers came in here. All right, bottom of the 6th, Cody Overbeck leading it off in a 2-2 tie. Noah Kroll on the mound, the 6th pitcher for the South. He's a submarine type, and his first pitch is a grounder down to short. Taking out on a couple of hops is Velasquez, goes on to first for an out. He bobbled the ball a little bit, but he had the time to get it over to first for the out. So Overbeck is gone. And that'll bring up second baseman Corbin Joseph. He's 0 for 2. Popped out to short, popped out to center field. Noah Kroll, 2-3 with a 2.97 ERA. 29 games all in relief. First pitch misses inside, ball 1. He has 15 saves in 30 1/3 innings, 21 strikeouts, 11 walks. The league batting only 167 against him. Right-hander's next submarine pitch is a hard grounder down the first baseline, foul, and the count's 1-1. Noah just turned 26 years old on June 6th. He leads the league in games pitched with 29 and in games finished with 28. And he's tied with Matt Bailey for the Florida State League in saves with 15. Noah was originally selected by the Tigers in the 17th round of the 2007 draft, but was released in June of 2009, and the Pirates immediately signed him. And now he's in the All-Star game. Submarine pitch, fastball on the misses the outside corner, the count's 2-1. Born in Nickerson, Kansas, attended Wichita State. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball, missed down and away, and the count's 3-1. On deck is the first baseman for the Lakeland Flying Tigers, Raleigh Bishop. 3-1 pitch, misses away, ball 4. So Corbin Joseph reaches base for the first time. And that'll bring up first baseman Raleigh Bishop 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the second. Swung on and struck out in the fourth. Joseph leading off at first, and the first pitch by Kroll is a hard grounder down to short. Velasquez on to second and for one, on to first, double play. Well, that didn't take long. 6-4-3 double play. Velasquez to Satine to Lassiter. No runs, no hits, a walk, and nobody left. We've gone 6 here at Space Coast Stadium, and the score is still tied at 2. Well, now it's time to start talking about what happens if we have a tie after 9 innings. You might remember a Major League All-Star game a few years ago where they basically ran out of pitchers in extra innings, and Commissioner Bud Selly took a lot of grief from fans who felt that it should have been played to conclusion, but the concern was obviously for the physical well-being of the players involved, and you're talking about players who make millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars a year. Down at this level, obviously, most of these guys have a very modest income, but they're also very young, and they have their careers in front of them, so we don't want to risk them either. And so what will happen is that if we're tied after 9 innings, we'll have one more inning. And if after 10 innings it's still tied, then it's a tie. And that's it. Shake hands and see you next year. Once again, if you want to email me, the email address is home@spacecoastbaseball.com. That's home@spacecoastbaseball.com. Or you can go to the homepage at www.spacecoastbaseball.com. And there's a link at the top that says click here to email spacecoastbaseball.com. I'm trying to see if we have a new pitcher here for the North.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's pitch change for the Clearwater Pressure. It's number 54, Trevor May. Also, in for the catcher from the Indian Blue Jays, number 6, Jan Jones.
We actually have 2 changes. Now on the mound is number 54, Trevor May from the Clearwater Threshers. And the third catcher of the night is Yan Gomez, Yangomes, wearing number 6 from the Dunedin Blue Jays. Top of the 7th and a 2-2 tie.
Now hitting the third baseman from the Charlotte Stonegrass, number 16, Henry Wrigley.
It'll be Henry Wrigley, followed by Ben Lassiter and Xavier Scruggs. Wrigley 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. First pitch fastball down and away, ball 1. Next pitch by Trevor, fastball down and away again, 2-0. May selected by the Phillies in the 4th round of the 2008 draft, 6'5", 215. 3-5 with a 5.61 ERA. His 2-0 pitch swung on a miss on a fastball, 88 miles an hour, and it counts 2-1. In 51 and a third innings, 71 strikeouts, his 42 walks lead the league. He's given up 5 home runs. 2-1 pitch by Trevor, fastball hits the outside corner, counts 2-2. League's batting just .233 against Trevor May. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, and it's fouled back into the net, and the count remains 2-2. Trevor was born in Kelso, Washington, and graduated from Kelso High School in Washington. 2-2 pitch. Fastball away, and the count's full, 3-2. Once again, Henry Wrigley at the plate won the pregame home run derby, and you'll see video of that tomorrow on SpaceCoastBaseball.com. Swung on and missed on a fastball, and Henry Wrigley has gone swinging.
Now hitting from the Jupiter Hammerhead, the first baseman, number 30, Ben Lassiter.
So that'll bring up the first baseman, Ben Lassiter, the first Jupiter Hammerhead to enter the game. Listen up, Vegas fans. He was born in Las Vegas. They seem to be very popular in Sin City tonight. Fastball misses away, 1-0. Lassiter batting .277 with 2 homers, 32 RBI. Just turned 26 on May 25th. Next pitch down and away, and it counts 2-0. Ben was selected by the Marlins in the 29th round of the June 2007 draft out of the College of Charleston. Here's a grounder foul down the third baseline, and it counts now 2-1. Two-one pitch by Trevor May is popped high on the infield, drifting towards the home team dugout on the first base side, and it bounces just short of the stands. The first baseman, Bishop, just didn't get over there in time, and quite frankly, you're in terra incognita around here. You don't know where the railings are, and you don't know where the stands begin, and this is an exhibition game, so no reason to get hurt in an exhibition game. But then those of us who are a little bit older remember what Pete Rose did to Ray Fosse, and I think it was the 1970 All-Star game, putting Fosse on the disabled list with a broken collarbone on that dive into home plate. Breaking ball swung on, and Lassiter gets just a piece of it, and it rolls over towards the north dugout on the first base side. The count remains 2-2. May's 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Trevor May. He's used that as an out pitch, and it's pretty darn effective.
Now hitting from the Cardinals, the designated hitter, number 15, Viera.
Another shout out for Henry Wrigley from Aunt Tracy in Auburn, California. She wants to know if I broadcast for a living. The answer is no. Oh, breaking ball way up and in on Xavier Scruggs, and the count's 1-0. No, I'm just indulging the fantasy to always be a broadcaster. There's no money in minor league broadcasting, and anybody will tell you that. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count's 1-1. She asked if I have another job. No, and I am looking. The unemployment rate out here is about 12.5%. 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. 1-2. So very effective job being done here by Trevor May. One-two pitch is a little looper over the head of the shortstop Nunez in left center field for a base hit. Fielding the ball is Cody Kaiser in center. And so Xavier Scruggs reaches first base with a 2-out single. Xavier Scruggs, an early candidate for the All-Star Game Most Valuable Player. He singled in the second, homered in the fifth, and now he's reached on a 2-out single. So he's 3 for 3 with a bomb. Sean Ratliff at the plate, flied out to center and singled. Scruggs off at first, and the first pitch by May is fastball up and away, 1-0. Ratliff batting left-handed, and so with the first baseman Bishop holding on Scruggs at first, it leaves a big hole for Ratliff on the right side. Corbin Joseph at second is cheating over maybe just a couple of steps towards first base. Fastball on the inside corner. Now I take that back. That was a changeup, and the count's 1-1. The great thing about radio is that I could totally screw up the pitch call, and you wouldn't know it. 1-1 pitch coming up by May. Fastball misses away, and the count's 2-1. Email from Cody Overbeck's grandparents from Effingham, Illinois. Your grandson is playing a good 20 feet off the line at third with a left-handed batter at the plate. 2-1 pitch by May is a line drive down the right field line, hooking into the stands foul. The count's 2-2. Cody was in the pregame All-Star Derby, but unfortunately he didn't get a home run. But I did get some video of him, and I'll try to include that into the video when I edit it sometime tomorrow. May comes set, and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed on a changeup, strike 3. So 3 strikeouts swinging for Trevor May as he strikes out at the side in the 7th with the exception of the single by Xavier Scruggs. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one left. We're going to let you listen to God Bless America, and I assume after that, take me out to the ball game as we go to the bottom of the 7th. The South and the North tied at 2. We'll be back in a few minutes.
From the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
All right, fans, it's time for the 7-minute stretch. Sing along to Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Going to the bottom of 7th. We're going to the bottom of 7th. The score is so tied at 2. 2 changes. The Boat family will be happy to know that Steven is now behind home plate wearing number 18. And the Fleming family will be happy to know that Marcus Fleming is now in the pitch in the bottom of the 7th for the South in a 2-2 tie. Marcus Fleming from the Charlotte Stone Crabs, selected by the Tampa Rays in the 24th round of the June 2008 draft, has a 3-0 record working in relief with a 1.69 ERA. In 16 games for the Stone Crabs, 32 innings, given up just 14 hits. Amazing stats, 32 innings, 52 strikeouts, only 12 walks, and opponents batting just 130 against them. He's second among Florida State relievers in the lowest batting average against at 130, and has the second best strikeout ratio for league relievers, 14.62 strikeouts, 0.9 innings. Right-hander Marcus Fleming winds, and his first pitch to Eric Komatsu hits the outside corner with looked to me like a fastball. I told you the radar sometimes is wrong, and there it said 80 miles an hour, and I can't believe that was a change-up. So, anyway, 0-1. Komatsu 0 for 2 with a pair of ground outs. Next pitch by Fleming is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count's 0-2. Yankees right fielder Jack Rye is on deck. As we said, Komatsu, one of the best contact hitters in the league, along with teammates Sergio Miranda and Matt Klein. 0-2 pitch is swung on, and it's a little looper that's going to fall into left center field for a base hit. Gets past the left fielder, And going into second, diving head first, and safe is Eric Komatsu. Let's see how that's ruled. That was a little flare in the left center field. The left fielder, Roccabaldo, the center fielder, Lattimore, and the shortstop, Velasquez, all converged out there. And it fell in for a base hit. I think it was a playoff game that perhaps the left fielder, Roccabaldo, would have dove for it. And I think that was a little bit of the confusion, was that after the ball hit the ground, it took a little bit of a weird hop, and it bounced off of Roccabaldo's glove. He's been charged with an error. So Komatsu gets a single and is standing on second as Jack Rye steps in and takes the first pitch away. The count's 1-0. Rye doubled and scored in the third, walked and was stranded in the fifth, batting left-handed against the right-hander Fleming. But looks back at Komatsu at second, and the 1-0 pitch is down and in, and the count's 2-0. An email from William Carter asking if Nunez was on the original All-Star roster. I don't have the original roster with me. I believe the answer on that is no, and I can tell you that minor league All-Star rosters are always in a lot of flux. 2-0 pitch is a hard grounder past the first base coach through the wickets and down the line. 2-1. As if you know minor league baseball at all, you know players are always moving up, moving down, getting released, going on the DL, whatever. And so especially with the better talent in the league, the people that would be the usual suspects to make an all-star game, a lot of them wind up getting promoted before the game. 2-1 pitch, a breaking ball that didn't, but it floated away, and the count's 3-1. There also were a couple of guys who got hurt and weren't able to make the game, but a lot of them got promoted. And so certainly we were scrambling the last couple of days to keep that roster current. Here's a line drive off the glove of Fleming into center field for a base hit. Coming around third and holding is Komatsu as Lattimore's throw is into home plate. It gets past the catcher, both, but it's backed up by Fleming. So runners at the corners with nobody out. And that'll bring up Flying Tigers shortstop Gustavo Nunez, who singled and hit a line drive into center field. 2-2 tie here, bottom of the seventh. In the North looking to take the lead here. South third baseman Henry Wrigley playing even with the runner at third. First pitch hits the outside corner with what appeared to be a changeup, and it counts 0-1. First baseman Lassiter is holding on Rye at first, and the infielders at second and short are in just a little bit too. There goes Rye at second. Curveball is called a strike. Boat fakes a throw down to second and then looks down at Komatsu at third. So Rye goes into second base with a stolen base. Count 0-2 on Nunez. Komatsu on third, Rye on second. A base hit here could make it 4-2. But it's just a 2-2 tie. 0-2 pitch is a little roller down to the first. Lassiter goes to the bag himself for the out. And remaining in second and third, respectively, are Rye and Komatsu. So we go back to the top of the lineup. And that'll bring up Flying Tigers center fielder Cody Kaiser, who had one at-bat in the fifth and grounded out the third. Cody batting .348 on the year, 4 homers, 39 RBI. His .348 average, third in the Florida State League. And it's the top batting average for a switch hitter in the league. He's batting left-handed right now against the right-hander Fleming. Leads the league in hits with 78. Third in total bases with 116, which is tops among switch hitters. and he's third in the league in triples with 6. They're going to walk Cody intentionally to load the bases. So Stephen Vogt stepping out over to the third base side of the plate to take the intentional walk from Fleming. And every once in a while you do see one get by, so you can't just give up on this automatically. But in 2 more pitches, Cody Kaiser should be on first, joining Jack Rye at second and Eric Komatsu at third, which will load the bases with 1 out for Manatees third baseman Matt Klein, who is serving as the designated hitter tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise from your Brevard County Manatees. Number 3, designated hitter Matt Klein.
I'm told that Fleming's first name is pronounced Marquise, so thank you very much. We had 48 names and not a chance to check all of them, so we're making best guess on that. So Marquise Fleming working from the stretch with the bases loaded, 1 out. Komatsu on third, Rye at second, and Kaiser on first. Klein at the plate. First pitch by Fleming. Breaking ball just missed the outside corner. Stephen Vogt framed it there for the home plate umpire, but didn't get it. Count 1-0. Klein walked in the 5th, his only plate appearance. Excellent contact hitter. 1-0 pitch by Marquise, almost gets past Vogt, but he backhands it as the ball was down and away, and the count's 2-0. South defense, Henry Wrigley at third, Velasquez at second, Satine at second, and Lassiter at first on the infield. Fastball misses away, and the count's 3-0. So Marquise Fleming 1 pitch away from walking in the lead run. Lassiter at first is even with the bag pulled in. Wrigley at third is a couple of steps behind the bag, about 20 feet off. He's not holding on Komatsu at third. 3-0 pitch. He hits the outside corner with something with a wrinkle in it, and the count goes 3-1. That may have been a cut fastball. And just a little bit of a wrinkle of movement in it at the end. On deck is Mitch Abeda. Yan Gomez. And the 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball is a grounder down to third. Wrigley on to second for 1. On to first. It gets past the first baseman. It goes through the railing. Coming in to score is Komatsu. Right behind him is Jack Rye. Holding at second is Matt Klein, because apparently he was safe at second. And the North takes a 4-2 lead.
Now hitting from the Dunedin Blue Jays, the catcher, number 6, Young Gold.
Well, I must have missed a play there because 2 runners are in and Klein is on second. And I thought that was where they got the out. First pitch is a fastball that hits the outside corner for a strike against Yan Gomes. So let me check the MILB scoreboard and see if I can get an update for you on that. But in any case, Matt Klein is on second with 2 outs. Breaking ball is a pop fly into center field, giving ground is Quincy Lattimore. He'll have it for the final out. But the North scored 2 runs on 1-2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. And after 7, it's the North 4 and the South 2. Let's see if I can get a clarification for you what happened on that play. MILB.com is not quite updated yet. Well, we're waiting for that when we go to the top of the 8th with the North leading the South 4-2. Inevitably, there'll be another pitching change. Once again, I want to thank everyone who's been listening tonight. And a reminder that SpaceCoastBaseball.com survives on the generosity of its visitors. So we don't have any ads, not on the radio for sure, and no ads on the website. So think of us as sort of like the national public radio of baseball in Brevard County. And if you are enjoying this webcast and you want to support what we do in the future, please consider making a donation to support the site. You can either make a one-time donation or sign up for a voluntary $5 a month subscription. The link is on the homepage of SpaceCoastBaseball.com should you wish to help. Once again, another pitching change, this time for the North Division. It's going to be number 40, Aaron Schaefer from the Daytona Cubs.
Dave Johnson, Kenny Saunderson, Rob Post, Steve Shutt, Robert Brown, Sanderson, Diana Doty, Tom Corson, Ron Pierre, Emily Cochran, Jen Rye, Rob Lavetta.
Okay, I see what happened now in the bottom of the 7th. I lost track of Cody Kaiser, and I apologize to the Kaiser family for that. But with the bases loaded, Eric Komatsu was on 3rd, Jack Wright was on 2nd, and Cody Kaiser was on 1st. Matt Klein hit a ground ball to the 3rd baseman, Henry Wrigley, who threw on to the 2nd baseman, Josh Satine. And so that eliminated Kaiser 5-4. The throw by Satine was wild. And so Klein reached on the throwing error by Satine and advanced on the throw. Here's a grounded up the middle. The 2nd baseman, Corbin Joseph, cannot handle it. And so reaching on that play is Richard Roccabaldo. Let's see how that's scored. To me, that would be a base hit.
Now hitting from the Charlotte Stonecrabs, the shortstop, number 6, Isaiah Velasquez.
And it has indeed been ruled as a base hit for Richard Roccabaldo. So that'll bring up the shortstop, Velasquez. First pitch by Schaefer is up and in, ball 1. Time called by the North catcher, Jan Gomez. Aaron Schaefer from the Daytona Cubs, pitching in this inning, right-handed pitcher, 6'5", 185, selected by the Cubs in the 2nd round of the June 2008 draft. 1-0 pitch is pop foul. It's going to drift out of play on the first base side. It falls into the stands, and the count's 1-1. Schaefer out of Cajon High School in San Bernardino, California. 2-1 with a 1.06 ERA in 20 relief games. There's a base hit. And is that going to fall in? No. The right fielder for the North, Jack Wright, caught it. First I thought that was going to die, but the wind held it up long enough for Jack Wright to race into the alley and catch it. So Roccabaldo remains at first to go to the top of the lineup for Quincy Lattimore, who singled to lead off the game, scored, and then struck out twice, batting right-handed against Schaefer. This is going to be a line drive into center field. Catching it is Cody Kaiser, who gets the ball back in quickly to the shortstop. And I think we have a new shortstop for the North. No, I take that back. That was Corbin Joseph. Corbin Joseph was on the shortstop side of the bag, and that's why I thought maybe we had a shortstop. Well, I told you to get the late innings, so it starts to lose it. But, that's how it goes in an all-star game. So with 2 down, it's Josh Satine. First pitch by Schaefer, breaking ball is up, and the count's 1-0. Satine singled, flied out to left, and struck out. Schaefer, don't want to overlook Aaron here, 5th among Florida State relievers and fewest base runners per 9 innings, at 7.23. This 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike, and the count is 1-1. in 42 in the third innings, 42 strikeouts, only 9 walks, giving up just 25 hits and only 1 home run rather. League batting 162 against him. It's now a battle of the bullpens here in this game as both sides are getting their relievers in. Here's a high fly ball to right field to the warning track to the wall and grabbing it with a leap off of the yellow line at the top of the stadium. No, Jack Rye could not get it. It's a home run for Josh Satine. Well, whether it's pronounced Staten or Satine, he went with the ball the opposite way, a line drive the opposite way to right field because the wind was blowing out that way. And we told you about how the fence on that side is partitioned, but there's 2 parts to it. There's a lower fence that has a yellow line on it across the top, and then there's advertising on an upper fence, and the 2 are separated slightly by a gap of a couple of feet if you went out there and looked. First pitch to Stephen Vogt misses, and the count's 1-0. So Jack Rye leapt. Next pitch misses away, and the count's 2-0. Jack Rye went back to the wall. He leapt up and got his glove up on that yellow line on the top of the lower fence. Vogt swings and fouls it off his foot. Counts 2-1. When he came back down, it looked to me at first like he had caught the ball. But then he just kind of looked down and he didn't throw the ball back in, and he realized it was a home run. 2-1 pitch is swung on, and again, Vogt just gets a piece of it. It was a curveball, and the count's 2-2. So Josh Satine ties this All-Star game up with a 2-run homer, bringing in Richard Roccaballo ahead of him, and it's now a 4-4 tie. Breaking ball is a line drive into right center field for a base hit. Racing over in the alley to get it is Cody Kaiser, who gets the ball back into Corbin Joseph, and it's a 2-out single for Stephen Vogt. So the Vogt family in Visalia will be very happy about that.
Now hitting the third baseman from the Charlotte Stormcrabs, number 16, Henry Wrigley.
And that'll bring up home run derby winner and multitude of fans out there on the internet, Henry Wrigley, who's 0 for 3. First pitch is a breaking ball down and away, 1-0. Henry grounded out the third, grounded out the second, and struck out swinging. Very short lead for Vogt at first. This is a grounder down past the third baseman, gloved by the shortstop Nunez. Long throw to first, not a chance to get Henry Wrigley. Third baseman Overbeck diving to his left, made a valiant effort for it. He didn't get it. Nunez, best shortstop defensively in the league, went out on the grass and cut it down, made a long throw across his body over to first, but there was no way he was going to get Wrigley. So Henry has a base hit, and advancing to second is Stephen Vogt, who represents the lead run, and that'll bring up Ben Lassiter. First pitch up and in, and the count's 1-0. It wasn't looking good for the South when the North put 2 runs up in the bottom of the 7th, but the South come back on a 2-run dinger by Josh Satine. This pitch swung on and missed, and the count's 1-1. 2-run homer by Josh Satine to tie it at 4. Now Stephen Vogt singles and Henry Wrigley singles, and they're on base and could give him the lead. There's a grounder down to Corbin Joseph, who bobbles it, that keeps it in front of him and goes on to Bishop at first for the out. So the South tie it up. 2 runs on 4 hits. No errors and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The South and the North are tied at 4. I'm going to let you listen outside to YMCA, and I'll be right back.
from the Cardinals, now pitching first base, Ramon Delgado.
Have another pitching change now as we go to the bottom of the eighth. Ramon Delgado, the Palm Beach Cardinals, is coming in to pitch the bottom of the eighth. He's wearing number 38. Right-hander, no wins, no losses, working out of the Palm Beach Cardinals bullpen. 0.65 ERA in 20 games. He's worked 27 and 2/3 innings. Given up 19 hits, struck out 28, walked 4. Opponents batting .204 against him. Third in the Florida State League in that obtuse new statistical category, holds, with 6, which basically means that if you're a reliever, you come in and you don't give up the lead. You get a hold. Okay. Just like the game-winning RBI stat that kind of came and went after a few years. He'll face Cody Overbeck, scheduled, followed by Corbin Joseph and Raleigh Bishop. Cody Overbeck, 0 for 3, struck out, flied out to center, and grounded out to short. First pitch by Delgado. Fastball hits the outside corner, 0-1. Next pitch, breaking ball. He just gets a piece of it. It goes back into the net and it counts 0-2. We just got handed a ballot to vote for the All-Star Game MVP. Now, I could be a troublemaker and vote for somebody who hasn't gotten in the game yet. Curveball, he just gets a piece of it and bounces it back to Delgado, keeps it in front of him, goes on to the first baseman, Lassiter, for the out.
Now hitting from the Tampa Yankees, the second baseman, number 2, Corbin Joseph.
So that'll bring up second baseman Corbin Joseph from the Tampa Yankees, who's popped out twice and walked. He was one of the participants in the pregame home run derby. Delgado's first pitch, line drive past Lassiter into right field for a base hit. Over to cut it off is the right fielder Ratliff. And on first with a one-out single is Corbin Joseph.
Now hitting from the Lakeland Tigers, the first baseman, number 22, Raleigh Bishop.
So that'll bring up first baseman Raleigh Bishop from the Lakeland Flying Tigers, 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts and grounded into a double play. Have an email from Trevor May's grandmom, who's in Washington State. Says she was thrilled with his performance, and Mom or Grandma, I agree with you 100%. He pitches like he did tonight. He'll be in the big leagues one day. There's a big breaking ball taken for a strike by Raleigh Bishop. Next pitch by Delgado, swung on and missed on a fastball, and the count's 0-2. That's the great thing about all-star games, if you're a minor league wonk like I am, is you get to see so much young talent from so many different teams that you might not normally see. Checks a swing on a fastball up and in. Did he go around? Yes. And to be honest, Raleigh helped punch himself out there, because when he went around and checked his swing, he immediately started walking back to the dugout without waiting for the appeal call down at first base. So he'll go down swinging for his third strikeout of the game. Time called, and that's going to be it for Delgado, as South Division manager Jim Morrison comes out and takes the ball, and we're going to have a pitching change. And a 4-4 tie here in the bottom of the eighth with 2 down and Corbin Joseph on first. Going to be a left-hander. I'll let you know who it is in just a second. It's number 11, and that's Josh Satow, S-A-T-O-W, from the Charlotte Stone Crabs.
Robert Pond, Judd Walker, Steve Schutz, Dana Kusanova,
while Sato is warming up. I'm going to put the headset out the window, and I'll be right back.
Scott Weldon, Steph Pierce, Steve Blinder, Bob Bigola, Albert, Judd Walker, Nelson Carvalho, Enrique Cortez, Franco, Ray Delgado, Macbeth Frederick, Scott Wesh, Graham Green, Vince Antrilli. Congratulations. Pitching change for the South Division. Now pitching from the Charlotte Stone Crabs, number 11, Joshua Sethau.
Hi, everyone. I'm back. I had to go turn in the ballot for the All-Star Game MVP. No telling until after the game. Josh Sethau from the Charlotte Stone Crabs, Tampa Bay Rays affiliate. 5'10", 155. From up here, he doesn't even look 5'10", little lefty. Selected by the Rays in the 25th round of the 2008 draft out of Arizona State University. 3-1 with a 1.63 ERA in 20 relief appearances. He has 8 saves. 27 and 2/3 innings. He's given up only 16 hits, struck out 39 and walked 6. Opponents batting just 163 against him. All right, Eric Komatsu steps in batting left-handed, so it's a lefty-lefty matchup here. The lead run in Corbin Joseph is over at first. He takes a short lead of just a couple of steps. First pitch up and in, ball 1. Sethau appears to have a little bit of that frisbee delivery where he delivers the ball from a bit of an angle. It's almost sidearm. This one hits the outside corner as it travels laterally across the plate, and the count is 1-1. Sethau, 4th among Florida State League relievers and fewest base runners per 9 innings at 7.16, and number 1 among left-handed relievers. Misses down and away, and the count's 2-1. Corbin Joseph taking a very modest lead at first, just 2 or 3 steps. And a 2-1 pitch is fouled back on the third base side and bounces on the aluminum overhang over the stands. And the count remains 2-2. The press box here, which has luxury suites, swings out from either side behind home plate about a third of the way down the line. And then in the next section on either side, there are aluminum overhangs just over those sections. And then the last third is where the aluminum bleachers are, and they have no protection at all. Swung on and missed, strike 3 on a breaking ball. So Josh Sethau gets his job done as he strikes out Eric Komatsu swinging.
Your very own magazine is waiting for you right now. Senior scene.
No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We're going to the 9th. Just the way we like to see an all-star game, evenly balanced. For the South, it's 4 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors. For the North, 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Once again, a reminder, if you happen to live in the Brevard County area or in East Central Florida, and you get the Bright House Network cable system in your house, the Bright House Sports Network is here filming this game, videotaping it for telecast tomorrow. It'll be on at 2 o'clock tomorrow on Channel 47. If you go to SpaceCoastBaseball.com under Need to Know, there's a link there that will take you to the Bright House Sports Network website that shows you the schedule. And it's scheduled for 2 to 5 tomorrow afternoon on Channel 47. There will be additional telecasts in the next month. It'll be replayed, and I'll post those as they come up. New pitching change here in the 9th for the North. Number 17, Matt Daly from the Dunedin Blue Jays. Daly selected in the 13th round, the 2008 draft by the Blue Jays, out of the University of Hawaii. So he must be a pretty sharp guy, because if you had your choice of colleges to go to, wouldn't you choose the University of Hawaii? 0-1 with a 4.10 ERA and 26 relief appearances. He has 15 saves. In 26 and a third innings, he's given them 29 hits. Struck out 30, walked 7. He's given up only 1 home run. And the league is batting .276 against him. Daly, third in the league in games pitched with 26. Second in games finished with 23. And he's tied with Noah Kroll for the league lead in saves with 15. Xavier Scruggs steps in 3 for 3, 2 singles and a home run. Takes the first pitch down low, fastball at 91 miles an hour, and it counts 1-0. Scruggs scheduled to be followed by Sean Ratliff and Richard Roccabaldo. Next pitch is a grounder foul that reaches the near side of the visitor dugout, and one of the South players gloves it with his hand. He does have a batter's glove on, so he protected his hand. Good boy. And then he tossed it up over the top of the dugout to the fans. Count 1-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed by Scruggs, and the count's 1-2. Looks like we have a pinch hitter on deck. Next pitch is taken away, and it counts 2-2. Number 29 is on deck for the South. I had Sean Ratliff down as number 9, but he's actually wearing number 29, so it looks like Ratliff will bat. Next pitch misses, and the count's full, 3-2. Daly's 3-2 pitch. Scruggs checks his swing and misses away, ball 4, and so after reaching on a single, a home run, and a single, Scruggs in the 9th leads it off with a walk. So that'll bring in Sean Ratliff, who's 0-1 for 3 with a fly out to center, a single, and struck out. If you're thinking bunt, Cody Olberbeck is playing deep at third. First pitch is swung on, and it's a grounder foul up the first baseline. Olberbeck was deep at third, and Bishop was at first, holding on the runner, Scruggs. Xavier at first, if you're thinking about stolen bases. He's 3 for 3 in stolen bases this year. Taking a short lead. 0-1 pitch misses inside, and the count's 1-1. So long as Scruggs is on first, which forces Bishop to hold him on, it leaves a hole open on the right side for the left-handed hitting Ratliff, and so Corbin Joseph is cheating over once again towards first base to try to fill that hole a little bit. There's a hard grounder that's hit. Looked like it maybe went into the far end of the home team dugout. Down there's a runway that comes down from the clubhouse, and beyond that there's a small area where they have an area where they have storage facilities, and then beyond that is a camera well, and I think it got into that storage facility. 1-2 pitch to Ratliff, gets just a piece of it and rolls it back towards the home team on deck circle, and the count remains 0-2. Richard Roccabaldo is on deck. The outfield playing pretty much straight away, maybe a step or two towards right. 1-2 pitch, popped up on the infield, drifting foul. The pitcher and the first baseman coming in for it. Raleigh Bishop, the first baseman, has it, and there's one down. So that'll bring up left fielder Richard Roccabaldo from the Palm Beach Cardinals. Grounded into a double play, struck out, and singled. He scored on the home run by Josh Satine in the top of the 8th. Breaking ball by Daly crosses the plate, and the count's 0-1. 4-4 tie here in the top of the ninth between the North and the South. The South hit the plate with a runner on first and 1 out. Pitch to Roccaballo. Fastball misses down and away, and the count's 1-1. We just went past 10 o'clock here in the Space Coast. Daly's 1-1 pitch. Fastball hits the inside corner, and the count's 1-2. One of many critical moments in the game. 1-2 pitch by Daly. Swung on and missed on a curveball to retire Roccaballo, which is the first strikeout for Daly in the game. North manager Torrey Tyson is coming out to the mound. That's going to be it for Matt Daly. Let's see who comes in to pitch. The bullpens here are pretty well hidden. For the home team, the bullpen is down the right field line. It's tucked behind the stands, so you cannot see who's warming up until they actually enter the game. For the visitors, the bullpen runs parallel to the left field fence, so what you can see peeking over the wall is roughly from the belt up, and you can't see much more than that if the pitcher is standing on the mound. But you really can't make out much of who's out there unless maybe you have binoculars.
Now pitching from the Clearwater Threshers, number 30, Justin DeFreitas.
New pitcher for the North is Justin DeFreitas, DeFratus, from the Clearwater Threshers, Philadelphia Phillies affiliate. DeFreitas, right-handed pitcher, 6'4", 215, 22 years old, selected by the Phillies in the 11th round of the June 2007 draft out of Ventura College. He's 1-0 with a 1.91 ERA. In 21 relief appearances, he has 10 saves. He's worked 28 1/3 innings, giving up 18 hits, struck out 33 and walked 10. Has not allowed any home runs this year, and the league is batting just .182 against him. Well, as we said, this is turning into the battle of the bullpens because most of these rosters on both sides, the pitching staff, were set up relievers and closers. So that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Isaias Velasquez, who's 0 for 3. Grounded out to first, grounded out to short, and flied out to right. First pitch by DeFreitas is bounced off the plate and it goes foul. Bounces off the top of the home dugout, almost hits Manny, the Manatee mascot, and bounces up into the seats, 0-1. Xavier Scruggs led off the inning with a walk. 2 outs later, he's still there. Next pitch by DeFreitas. Swung on and missed on 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count's 0-2. On deck, if we get there, is Quincy Lattimore. Oh-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, 91-mile-an-hour fastball. So DeFreitas retires Velasquez, and the South is done in the top of the ninth. No runs, no hits, a walk, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The South 4 and the North 4. Once again, if this game is tied after 9 innings, our understanding is that there will be 1 extra inning, and if it's still tied after 10, then the game is called a tie.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to remind you about Launch Ball. Great opportunity.
As we mentioned several times during the webcast, Space Coast Baseball has volunteered to webcast 15 home games for the Manatees this year. Our next webcast is going to be on Wednesday, June 23rd, I believe, against the Clearwater Threshers. Yeah, that's correct. I'm just double-checking on the website. It is Wednesday, June 23rd, 7:05 p.m. against the Clearwater Threshers. If you want to see what the webcast schedule is for the rest of the Manatees 2010 season on SpaceCoastBaseball.com, click on BC Manatees and then select Webcasts, and you'll get the schedule there. If you want to listen to any of the games that have been archived, click on Multimedia and select Audios. The All-Star Game archive should be online sometime tomorrow, as well as videotape I filmed of the Home Run Derby. Josh Satow, who came in with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th to strike out Eric Komatsu, is still on the mound here as we go to the bottom of the 9th. It'll be right fielder Jack Rye, followed by shortstop Nunez, and top of the lineup Kaiser. First pitch by Satow. Fastball misses away, 1-0. Rye has doubled and scored, walked, and singled and scored. 1-0 pitch. Fastball hits the outside corner and the count's 1-1. Next pitch by Satow misses away and the count's 2-1. Gustavo Nunez still on deck, so he won't be replaced. This pitch is a fastball that's swung on and fouled back into the net, and it counts 2-2. Lefty winds, and the 2-2 pitch, fastball misses down and away, and it counts 3-2. Well, we've come all this way to the bottom of the 9th. The South got on the board first, the top of the first. The North scored twice in the bottom of the third to make it 2-1. Changeup has popped up foul. Is it going to make it over the backstop? Yes, it is. So the count remains 3-2. The North had a 2-1 lead after 3. The South got a run on the board in the 5th to tie it at 2. North scored 2 in the bottom of the 7th to take a 4-2 lead. Then the top of the 8th, 2-run home run by Josh Satine made it 4-4, and that's where we stand right now. 3-2 pitch to Jack Rye. Swung on a miss on a changeup. It gets away from the catcher, Vogt, who throws down to first, and it hits the runner in the back. So now the only question was, did Rye stay in the runner's lane as he ran up the first baseline? That's that box you see drawn halfway up the first baseline over to the bag. And it looked like he did because there's certainly no appeal play. So credit a strikeout to Satow and then an error on Vogt. Here's a line drive right at the third baseman back to first, not in time. Henry Rayleigh standing in the right place at the right time. Line drive right at his chest. Got the ball flipped over to Lassiter at first, but Rye dove back in. And he's still on first. So we go back to the top of the lineup to Cody Kaiser, who was grounded out the third and was walked intentionally in the 7th. Jack Rye on first with 1 down, representing the winning run. Fastball misses away, and it counts 1-0. Satow working from the stretch. Pitches a strike. There goes Rye. Throw down to second. He's out. Jack Rye, 5 for 6 in stolen bases so far in the regular season, and tried to force the issue there, but he's retired 2-4. Great throw by Stephen Vogt. Well, Rye got on first in the first place because he was hit in the back with a throw by Vogt, but Stephen took care of that by throwing him out. This pitch is a check swing that's fouled into the stands on the first base side, and it counts 2-1. Sattow's 2-1 pitch is a little foul ball back into the net, and it counts now 2-2. Should Cody reach, Manatees third baseman Matt Klein, who is now the designated hitter, is standing in the on-deck circle. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So in an inning in the third, you can credit Sattow with 3 strikeouts.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the 10th inning rule does apply. If the game is still tied at the end of the 10th inning, it will result in a tie. Fireworks will succeed the game. Most of all will succeed the game. And the MVP of the game will be after the final out.
Well, just listening to what the PA had to say, and he confirmed that we have one more inning left to go, one way or the other. And they said that they will announce the most valuable player after that. So we'll try to stay on the air long enough to let you know who the most valuable player is. Well, we have a 4-4 tie after 9. For the South, 4 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors. For the North, 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Still on the mound is Justin DeFreitas, who came in and struck out Isaias Velasquez to end the top of the 9th. I'll be right back with you. Catcher Yan Gomez throws it down to second. We're ready to start the top of the 10th in a 4-4 tie. 1 inning of all-star baseball left. So you could look at this as a sudden death, or it's a 1-inning all-star game. Whoever scores the most runs in this inning wins the game. Quincy Lattimore leads it off, top of the lineup, followed by Josh Satine and Stephen Vogt. DeFreitas' first pitch, breaking ball, hits the outside corner. That was a nice bender, 0-1. Lattimore singled, struck out twice, and flied out to center. One of the participants in the home run derby, he was the runner-up. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, and it's a bouncer past the shortstop. No! Nunez gloves it, long throw from short left field over to first, but not in time to get Lattimore. The ball was definitely past Cody Overbeck. Nunez, as we said, best shortstop in the league, and I thought that was going to get past him in the left field. But he was maybe a good 30 feet out onto the outfield grass, gloved it, and made a long throw over to first with a cannon on an arm. But it wasn't in time to get Quincy Lattimore. So Lattimore's on first with a leadoff single. He represents the go-ahead run, and that brings up the second baseman, Josh, and we heard it Satine and Satin. Fastball misses away, and the count's 1-0. They're not looking for a bunt here. Overbeck still playing deep at third. Breaking ball hits the outside corner, and the count's 1-1. Lattimore at first, 3 for 4 in stolen bases. There he goes. Pitch is taken high. Throw down to second. It bounces off a Nunez glove. And into second base with a stolen base is Quincy Lattimore. Gomez's throw was just a bit short of the bag at second. The shortstop Nunez came over to cover. And as Lattimore slid in, his foot got in front of Nunez's glove, I believe, and knocked the ball out of the glove, or maybe just blocked it, and it bounced in front of the bag. So Lattimore now on second. And if you know your baseball, Satine's or Satin's job is to hit the ball to the right side and advance that runner to third. 2-1 pitch. He does that, and it's a base hit down the right field line. It's going to go into the corner. Coming around third to score, standing is Quincy Lattimore. And the South have a 5-4 lead on the single by Josh Satine. That was fair by maybe 6 inches. It went down the line where the right fielder, Jack Wright, fielded it. And he kept Satin or Satine to a single, but Lattimore scored easily from second. And the South is back in the lead 5-4. That brings up catcher Stephen Vogt, batting left-handed. First pitch by DeFreitas is on the outside corner, strike 1. 92 miles an hour, according to the radar gun. With Vogt batting left-handed, and Satin or Satine on first, there's a big hole for him on the right side. Breaking ball hits the outside corner, and the count's 0-2. Vogt was selected by the then Tampa Devil Rays in the 12th round of the 2007 draft. Next pitch by DeFreitas, it's going to be a base hit into left field. Split the difference between the third baseman Overbeck and the shortstop Nunez. Left fielder Komatsu gets the ball back in.
Now hitting from the Charlotte Snowcraft, the third baseman, number 16, Henry Wrigley.
And that'll bring up third baseman Henry Wrigley, who with a home run here can pretty much put the game out of reach. First pitch by DeFreitas is fouled back into the net and counts 0-1. Henry won the home run derby, but was kind of cold after that. Rounded out twice, struck out, and then singled his last at bat. Next pitch is fouled again, back over the top of the press box, and the count's 0-2. There's a certain body of thought that home run derbies screw up your swing because instead of just trying to make contact with the ball and drive it, you're trying to give it more lift and get it over a fence, and it gets you into some bad habits. Satin off a second, Vogt off a first, and the 0-2 pitch swung on and missed at a breaking ball way off the plate. Wrigley goes down swinging for the second time.
Now hitting from the Jupiter Hammerhead, number 30, the first baseman, Ben Lassiter.
So that'll bring up the first baseman, Ben Lassiter. He was struck out and grounded to second. Breaking ball hit the outside corner, 0-1. DeFreitas trying to hold it at a 1-run deficit. Satin leads off a second. Breaking ball is swung on. It's going to fall into right center field for a base hit. Satin had to hold up halfway between second and third to see if it was going to fall in. So he stops at third. Advancing to second is Vogt. As Lasser's now on first with a single, so the bases are loaded with only one out, and that's going to bring up Xavier Scruggs.
Cardinals, the designated hitter, number 15, Xavier Scruggs.
Xavier Scruggs, 3 for 3, single, home run, single, and walk. And now he has the bases loaded. First pitch by DeFreitas, checks his swing and it misses away, 1-0. 5-4, the South have taken the lead here in the top of the 10th. Looking for more with one out. Satin on third, Vogt on second, Lassiter on first. Infield's playing deep, hoping to get two. The 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball in for a strike, and it counts 1-1. I think the North may be out of pitchers, because it looks like they've used 10 pitchers. I think that's all they were allowed. There's another breaking ball, and this is down and away, and it counts 2-1. And as much as you want to give everybody a chance to play, this is the danger of running the bullpen a little bit too early. Is if you get into this situation and if Justin gets lit up, there's nobody other than a position player to come in for emergency relief. Fastball misses away, and it counts 3-1. You certainly don't want to see an injury occur to anybody in an exhibition game because they were used when they were tired or used when it was emergency relief. DeFreitas one pitch away from walking in a run. 3-1 pitch. It's a grounder down to second. Big hopper Corbin Joseph goes to Nunez at second for one on the first. Double play. What a critical double play ground ball that Justin DeFreitas induced there. Corbin Joseph at second, went to Nunez, best shortstop in the league at short, and then on to Raleigh Bishop at first for the final out. But the South take back the lead with a run on 4 hits. No errors, and they leave the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 10th, with the South leading the North 5-4. Well, the last pitcher for the North for the South is coming in to pitch in the bottom of the 10th. And whoever was warming it up in the bullpen wearing the catching gear is coming in too because the bullpen's empty now. So the last pitcher in the South bullpen comes in, and that's right-hander Zachary Quate from the Charlotte Stone Crabs. Quate 0-1 with a 0.59 ERA for the Stone Crabs. In 21 games, he has 10 saves. He's worked 30 2/3 innings, allowed just 2 runs, 16 hits, struck out 46 and walked 6, with the league batting just 155 against him. That 155 average is 5th amongst Florida State League relievers and lowest batting average against. He has the 4th best strikeout per 9 inning ratio among league relievers at 13.5 at every 9 innings. And he's 3rd among relievers at fewest base runners per 9 innings at 6.46. So South manager Jim Morrison held on to one of his best relievers in case he got the lead. And now he has Quate on the mound in the bottom of the 10th. Scheduled are Matt Klein, followed by Jan Gomez and Cody Overbeck.
All right, fans, it's the bottom of the 10th inning. Make some noise for your North Division All-Star. Leading off for the North Division All-Stars this inning, from your Brevard County Manatees. Make some noise for the designated hitter, number 3, X5.
Matt Klein steps in against Zachary Quate, bringing with him the 3rd best on-base percentage in the league at .419, batting right-handed. First pitch, fastball hits the outside corner at 87 miles an hour, strike 1. Next pitch by Quate, checked his swing, he went around, couldn't hold up, and the count's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch by Quate. Same thing on the outside corner. Couldn't hold up. Started to hold up but couldn't. And Zachary Quate has his first strikeout of the game.
Now hitting from the Dunedin Blue Jays, their catcher, number 6, Jan Gomez.
So that'll bring in catcher Jan Gomez. He's either Gomes or Gomez. It's spelled G-O-M-E-S. Quate's first pitch hits the outside corner with a breaking ball, and the count's 0-1. Gomez from the Dunedin Blue Jays, the 3rd catcher to be used by the North. 0-1 pitch hits the outside corner with a fastball, and the count's 0-2. So Zachary Quate being very efficient. Swung on a miss on a breaking ball on the outside corner, and that's the 2nd strikeout for Quate. That's 10 strikeouts now for South Division pitchers. And the only thing between the South Division and the Florida State League All-Star Game victory is third baseman Cody Overbeck, who's 0 for 4 with a strikeout, fly out to center, grounder to short, and an infield grounder from first to third, from the pitcher to first. Thank you very much. First pitch misses, and it's 1-0. It's trying to say 1-3. He hit it back to the mound, and then pitcher went over to first for the out. 1-0 pitch. Line drive right back up the middle, bounces off the mound, but right there is Velasquez on to first, and the South Division has won the Florida State League All-Star Game 5-4.
All right, fans, at the end of the game, your final score, the South 5, the North 4. On behalf of the entire Brevard County Manatees organization and the entire staff here at Space Coast Stadium, we thank all of you for your attendance and support of Manatees baseball. Remember, the Manatees return home on Monday, June 21st to face the Clearwater Treasures at 7:05. Visit ManateesBaseball.com for all of your Manatees information. Folks, please remain seated for the fireworks show presented by Creative Pyrotechnics. A launch call participants, please head to the visiting team dugout immediately following the fireworks show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Ride home safe.
The line score for the South, 5 runs, 14 hits, 3 errors. The North, 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. The win and release should go to Josh Satow, S-A-T-O-W. The loss and relief is number 30, Justin DeFreitas. And let's see if we're going to get the most valuable player announced. I'm going to put the headset out the window so you can listen to the league president, Murphy.
I'm here to present the Top Star Award to the outstanding players selected by the press box people. And this day is Josh Satan from St. Lucie, Met.
The MVP of the game award went to second baseman Josh Satin. It's been butchered pretty much every which way, from the St. Lucie Mets. He hit the critical home run in the 8th inning that tied the game up for the South at 4-4 in the game. He was 3 for 5 with 2 singles and that 2-run home run. And he's being presented with the award now at home plate, posing for photos with Florida State League President Chuck Murphy. Well, I'm going to thank everybody for listening to this very special webcast as the South wins the 2010 Florida State League All-Star Game 5-4. The webcast will be archived and available tomorrow on spacecoastbaseball.com, probably sometime in the morning. And once again, for those of you living in Central or Eastern Florida, the game was videotaped tonight by the Bright House Sports Network and will be on Channel 47 tomorrow, Sunday, between 2 and 5 p.m. on Channel 47. And when there are additional replays, I'll be posting on spacecoastbaseball.com under Need to Know to alert you when those are coming on. If you're outside of that area, well, sorry about that, but that's the way it goes. But at least you'll have the radio webcast. I know the fireworks are coming in just a little bit, so I want to get off the air before that happens. But in any case, thank you very much for listening to this very special webcast. We've been looking forward to it all season long, preparing for this moment. And you couldn't have asked for a better game other than a 5-4 extra inning win for the South Division. One last reminder, if you enjoyed this webcast, please consider helping to support SpaceCoastBaseball.com. We don't do any advertising. We don't have any advertisers on the website. This all comes out of my pocket, not just doing the webcast, but also the videos that you see on the website, the still photos that get shot, all the equipment and the time and effort that's involved in that all comes out of my pocket. So if you enjoyed it and you want to help this enterprise continue in the future, please consider making either a one-time donation or signing up for a $5 a month voluntary subscription, there is a link on the SpaceCoastBaseball.com homepage that tells you on how you can help. For those of you who are Brevard County Manatee fans and Clearwater Thresher fans, the next Manatees webcast we will do will be on Wednesday, May 23rd at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time here against Clearwater. That will be the last game of the first half. The Manatees are out of it in terms of the first half divisional race. They're in last place in the North Division at 23-36, 13 games out. Clearwater at 30-31 is 7 games out with only 9 games left in the first half. So it would seem rather improbable that they have a chance at it. But give us a listen in anyway. Phillies fans, Brewers fans, Clearwater fans, and of course Space Coast fans as always. We live in one of the best places in the country. Thanks to SpaceX for being one of the big sponsors of this webcast. Congratulations once again to you for your historic achievements last week, and we're looking forward to many launches out of you in the future. Stephen Smith for SpaceCoastBaseball.com. Thanks for listening. Good night to all you players, parents, loved ones, and everybody else listening around the world on the Internet.